よし。おはようございます。オプティック。アラン、どこやところだ？バトルフィーで見るか。おはようございます。はい、NA のリージョンファイナルです。C2X フューリア、100T、TSM。ああ、沈んだな。これか。K ノット。うわ、マジで知ってる人しかいねえ。ネイフェン。アルラレディ、スナイプダウン。スナイプダウン ?X ファン FPS。ハルバルファーストレップス。フレックスドロップ。あ、もう知ってるやつしかいねえや、もう。ダークゼロ、シャーキー、ゲンバーテン、フューリア。もうダメだ。CLG、COL、モンスーン。モンスーンめっちゃうめえんだよな。デザインフル。デザインフルは名前がかっこいい。LG。1試合目ね、ちょっとだけ見てた。起きた時がマジ始まった時だったから急いで来たんだよな。ALGS MVP。これツイッターで決定してんの？でもそんなのもうね、NRG やろうな。TSM やろうな、そんな。これ、そうじゃない？みたい、あっちで。始まった。このゲームは、モンスターの提供でお送りいたします。音入ってない？ほんとだ。ほい。あと1分で始まるぞ、また。ちょっと、待ってね。イヤホンってみて、イヤホンで弾くわ。 今日はイヤホンで聞きましょう。よいしょ。
Witnessed ESA come out on top and improve your statistics there.
Yeah, kind of crazy. Before Thursday, they had not even had a top 5 on World's Edge, but now they've got 3 top 5s, 3 victories. It seems like they have found the right recipe. As you mentioned, though, you know, it's been a lot of hardships for that squad, finding the right kind of 3 that they can actually work with all the subs that have come into the equation. But it seems like now this EA squad means business. They came into today 10th place, and now it's about trying to push yourself into that top 9 and trying to secure that spot in playoffs as well. But there's going to be plenty of teams vying for it. It's not going to be easy whatsoever, but I'm very excited to see how match number 2 plays out here.
Match number 2, indeed. Our teams are taking to their drop spots. A lot of people seem to be continuing based off where
めっちゃ見やすくて笑うんだけど、名前が短いから。
Dark Zero still going into Dome, but the real
Dark
question is,
Zero どうなんだ?
does NRG get a beacon? And it looks like they're going to extend out all the way to the left.
ドームから勝ったら本物でしょ。
Once again,
マジで。
2 for 2, NRG getting beacons.
ドームかー。
That's another stat I'll put down in the books, just for Sweet, as I'm sure he's got a wry smile about having some beacons to work with, as it hasn't been the best of times in recent weeks for them, but now no excuses, as we are going to be heading to the northwest side of the map up towards Skyhook. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of early movement from these squads who are in the vicinity and have been able to get beacon information as well. FaZe may make an early move from Survey Camp. BR Demons will probably trail them as well from Climatizer, and they may actually end up fighting up in those train tracks.
チームなの見やすいって。日本はやってほしいよこれ。
If we do end up towards Skyhook, but there is still a chance it could pull a little bit more towards the countdown area.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. It looks like Tripods actually took Big Mod away from Optic Gaming, who typically land in Big Mod, and they swapped over there. So that'll be really interesting. I expect Optic to maybe look into pressuring Tripods, but I'm imagining they made that decision solely based on the fact that they want the better shields. They want the better weapons because they were on triple white for I don't even know how long.
Space Station Gaming.
Too long, and I think it made them a threat. So I love that choice from them.
Well, it was more of a friendly little skirmish in match number 1, where they had a few pop shots at one another, and then eventually Optic griefed them over towards the beacon down at Dome. But now I feel like this is all-out war between these two teams, as they are going to very much fight for these positions and fight to get the loot that you speak of. But Optic Gaming walk out. They've got 2 purples in a blue. They are definitely going to take this fight. They're more than happy.
Optic まあ強すぎだろ。これは日頃の声っぽいじゃん。SSS ですよこれは。まあ強すぎだろ。2枚紫1人合うはバグだって。敵白やし。いやでもこれもうとりあえずK ノット落ちた。やばい、でも結構フルエースでまずい。あ、でもここ落としたのでかい。あーうまい。おーしっかりとね。いやここがあったのオプティックでっか。これでっかですねこれは。
next to them, and they'll be pretty happy with that one. My biggest question, have Dark Zero taken a peek at this? Dark Zero are very close. It's whether Dark Zero decide whether they just want to be on passing by or whether they fancy having a little sniff.
It's really tough because Dark Zero are match point legends, are back-to-back lane champions. They excel at this format, and I feel like this is one of those times where you just need to hit the road, stay in your lane. Yes, that would be some early game KP for you if you have the numbers advantage and everything goes right for you. But I feel like off of map 1, Optic are finding their flow, and it really hurts to say that we're in regional finals right now, and they're starting to look like the old Optic that I remember from being on LAN and watching Sweden and all of those moments that you're just like, dude, Skittle Cakes is insane. But Dark Zero not going to push the issue. They're going to continue on their merry way.
Yeah, and maybe that is a wise decision. Maybe they recognize, Optic have been winning their fights. They are a threat, and we don't really benefit from taking this fight here. It's just going to delay our rotation even more because they do have a long way to go. We are heading up towards Skyhook. We've already got about 12 teams that have posted up in the Skyhook
世界からCR グッズっていうのまだ曲げるんじゃないさすがに。あいつのところしそうだけどな。CR は曲げないと思うけど。プライドファイト始まるから曲げるからよね。まあそもそもグループが違う可能性もあるからな。
With Optic Gaming, but you are right. Optic are finding their form at the right time, but they could have a great day here today, Tiff, and still may not qualify. That's the scary thing. The fact they're in 15th position, it has to be an excellent day from them.
You have to be absolutely flawless. It's almost to the point where you're in that must win, because even if you take the win on the day and get 25 points, that gives you a 90 points overall, but you have to prey on the downfall of the 100 Thieves, Furia, NRG, HEC, and the risk is just too much at that point. So you have to focus on getting into match point win condition and getting it earlier than everyone else. But
左上の家の線路、家のらへんか線路らへんだろうな、多分。最終アンチ。
could not seal the deal. Well, regardless, they still qualified, but
Yeah, at the end of the day, qualification important. A lot of these teams
ワンチャン試練戻ってくるのもありそうだけど、さすがになぞ。
It's what these players live and breathe for. It's what everyone involved in esports wants. Really, it doesn't matter if you're a viewer, caster, player, production. It's really the life of esports. But you've got to get there first. And there's only 10 spots today. One of them from match point, and the other 9 will be the highest points thereafter. There's still so much to play for in what is such a highly competitive region. I think it's tough to even try and kind of bolt down 10 teams from this list of 20.
PK ダブルタップなんだ今日。
I think we are going to be disappointed to see a few leave, but we have to.
PK ってかあるか。紫ボルトダブルタップ。
And I think now as these teams who don't have
いや
beacon information in this particular game,
紫ボルトでけえな、あるんだったら。
and then realize they're going to have to make the long treacherous walk up towards Skyhook. You
バンガだ、こ
can
こも。
briefly
流行
see
ってきて
there
る
the
な、バンガ。
crafting rotation for today. I mentioned it in EMEA. The mobile res beacon being the most significant thing, as well as a shotgun bolt, I guess, if you are a player who does like to run a shotgun. But the fact you can pick up your teammates nice and quick, and the fact you have such easy access to mobile res could be very important today.
I think they're immensely important, especially when you start getting into those later rings and there's not a lot of beacons available and you don't want to overextend or leave your kind of god spot positioning, and you can utilize them for cover, as we saw Optic call one in just on the outskirts of their door in Geyser. But it's Dark Zero that needs to make that rotation all the way through Skyhook. And yes, there's a lot of open land and terrain throughout their journey, and a couple teams only just on the outskirts. It's going to be a total of 4 teams that have not made their way into that next zone yet. So long run there, but they're looking good. Triple purple, they've got ammo, plenty of heals, 4 bats for Denver. You want to go in? I see some people taking in 7 to 8 bats because they end up getting them burned throughout the end game and they have to share, and sometimes 4 isn't enough.
It was important here for Dark Zero as well, as they've got Zone 4 information from that beacon, so they will have a little bit of extra knowledge over those teams who are already in Skyhook and don't have a crypto to send towards any of the beacons. My biggest question will be, where do they go? You can see that
ここ守りきれるか、
through landslide up towards
今はきつくね、守りきれるからもう。
then they'll just obviously go that. But considering the amount of teams up towards Skyhook, it makes me think we're probably going to the far northwest.
そいつ言えばまだ守りきれるか。
Yes, they're under a lot of fire, a lot of distress at the moment in that
い
northwest
や、
zone that I was talking
ゲロ
about.
きついんだよ
There
な。
is plenty to hide behind when it comes to these kind of nooks and crannies, cliff edges, so you can survive. But it's just a matter of
守りきれたら強いな、でも。
17, 16 teams who are already in this area. There are so many eyes on you. It's tough to try and get away from every single angle.
いや、切れそう、切れるんだ、この状況。
Every time I see Shubi on Valk, I'm just not
キャッスル
used
で
to witnessing
じゃあ
that.
強
You
い
guys
な。
don't know Shubi, one of the last Bangalore mains alive, joins MPS, formerly MPL, in place of Luda
どこ
for
に
this
ですか。
team. He's formerly on the Black Hand
どこだろう
roster,
な。
didn't qualify through the preseason qualifiers and gets picked up
どこ
by
でも
Pow Pow
僕は
and
応援しておりま
Madness.
す。
So now finding themselves in potential playoff contention coming into this, just 6 points shy of that 9th place
中野部のパー
threshold.
ティーにカットしていいけど
Is
な
just doing everything
Watson
in
とか
their
の
power, looking very strong throughout Split 1 Pro League, and now just looking to seal the deal here. But they found themselves in an interesting situation, kind of surrounded by a multitude of teams here with just some rocks for cover. But they
Lumina.
do have the Loba black market available to them. Should they run out of, nades or ammo, they can just re-up.
あ、いいね、強い
Tell
強
you
い
what, I'm a little worried for Optic Gaming right now. They are still in Zone 1.
まあ回復は正直ね
Zone 2 is about to close.
ローバでもあるから
Better have all the meds in the world because they have to make
ニュ
one
ー
of
キャ
the
ストがしなかった
longest
ら永遠に
journeys
起こす
across
と
this map, and they are going to be eaten
上
up
も
by
そ
the
弾
zone.
あんま
You
な
can
いで
see
しょ
it there.
そこまで
In the southeast
壁壊す
side
の
of
弾
the
ないと思う
map
から
are still Optic Gaming. And
途
look
中
how
から
far
撃たれ
they
なくなる
go.
と普通に
And
諦
look
め
at
て
that zone closing. It is going to really chunk away at them. Are they going to end up falling victim to the zone would be my question. I know they had a crafter, so they should have a lot of meds, but it's not going to be fun.
It looks like they maybe hit a skyward dive to try and close some of the distance as they're kind of jet setting over the beautiful
クセットも
frag
バンガロール
west.
なんや。
Here you can see the broken buildings, the bridge, all of the lava as they make their
これは
way to the
左上だな
Just kidding.
いいアンチですねこれは
I mean, it certainly might need to be narrated because it could have been one of the worst stories
X セットとかが一番強いんじゃないか
from
な
Optic Gaming if they are to be knocked. But we'll revisit it a little bit later. Oh, actually, we'll revisit now. We'll see how their journey goes, and maybe you can narrate it a little bit more. They do seem to have meds to work with, 2 med kits, and plenty to maybe take them through, especially with ultimate accelerants. Maybe another skyward dive could really help Optic Gaming get into this circle, but they are very much running this close. I've seen a lot of teams get this wrong in Apex history, so fingers crossed Optic have timed this one correctly.
Already picked up 3 eliminations. That's going to be tripods. They're
クリフトもほどほどにいるんだ
I feel
な
like if they were in any bit of duress, they would have stopped and maybe crafted
バ
up
ッテリ
another
ー
med
4
kit.
個
But it
5個ある
seems
の
to
おもろい
be
な
working out
絶
just
対
well
武士
for
壊れないじゃん
them.
も
They
う
should be able to push into the next zone uncontested. You see they're
グレ
going
もある
to
し
the
ね
left to take that southern tunnel on the outskirts of
珍
Skyhook
しい
and
ホライゾ
make
ン
their way. But the
リージョン
question
ファイナル
is,
だとあんまり
all
ないんだ
the
けどな
teams
ホライ
that
ゾ
we
ン
had witnessed, aside from 4, 1 ring ago had already
繋がってる
made their way in, but it's complexity. They're
もう
on
すぐ
the outskirts of that bubble, so this is a must perform
いや
day
場所
for them,
辛
and
す
they are
ぎ
falling incredibly low. Lux, maybe 5 HP.
Yeah, and the reason why we could happily just watch Optic on their journey there is because everyone has already got into a position here, but finally fights are unfolding up on the northwest side of this map. Season are down to just 1. They are looking to try and get aggressive. Aiden the Destroyer
いや
gets the
後ろ
second
か
knock, and it
ら
looks like Season will be
後ろ
our
から
second team to be eliminated here,
LZ
as eventually teams are being forced into one another because these late rotators are joining and taking some of the space and starting engagements, which is naturally forcing other teams to also take fights as well.
Luminosity relegated to a duo as well. BR Demons able to only get 1 elimination throughout that
ここでも早めに押さないと敵側からも来るなまあ抑えられるなここだったら
LG in the feed and LG
とりあえ
finding themselves in some trouble again.
やばい理論値あー理論値だけど超理論値
Unfortunately for them, Dark Zero is
ゲン
going
ち
to
ゃん
put the nail in their coffin, going for the res on Sharky, trying to get the full reset, and hopefully no one ints on them.
いや
And I
3
don't
ポイン
believe
ト
that
でっ
anyone
け
should.
ー3ポイントとこの武士でっけ
What a
ー
circle this is going to end up to be. It's going to be so difficult for the
うわ
teams
金メット金ノックでかっ
from them to try and make their way in
金ノッ
because
クでかすぎだろ
everyone's gonna be on the same path. So many squads that are still alive.
バンガの金メットは強いぞ
Right, they're going to be laughing for a short while. They should be able to pick up plenty of KP as well. If we do move to the northwest side, where the likes of XET, FaZe, Complexity, NPS
回復回復でもね日本も一回表示されなかったっけ
But if it does shift down to
コマンドセンターとか日本も欲しいけ
the
どね
circle, where the likes of TSM, Optic, HEC, CLG find themselves,
ローバーが行き過ぎて
they're also gonna
ローバ
be
ーあ
laughing.
ローバー
This is
3
why
パーティ
this
ー採用してるん
zone
だ
shift is
結構いる
so
な
deadly, and why it can
ローバー
punish
がいすぎ
people for
て
making such
なんか
a
最
heavy
終
risk
次なんちゃがどこにいるのか分かんねえ
on
や
where they are putting themselves
まあでも
in front of
左上だろう
themselves.
な順当に X セットのところが最初になると思うなこれ
So many teams. When you hedge your bets, you think Complexity, you think the guard. They typically are so good at calling zones, and Complexity falling under fire from FaZe. It's going to be slurping.
いやー
down.
アクスターとかあったら
They
激
between
きつい
BR Demons and FaZe, and that is not
いや
the
そうだ
situation you want to be in, especially when you are on the
まあ
bubble
後ろから来
trying
る
to find yourself in contention for split one
これ
play.
こけたくない
Demons are going to be met
けど
by yet another team, and it's
逆
gonna
に
be
これ
Dark
落ち着ける
Zero
ぞ
making
そうな
their
んだよ
way
ね
in.
ここ長いくすると絶対ダークゾー来るんだよな
Just the one player in the destroyer. He did some light work of teams
そうだ
before,
ね
but it looks like he's going to be very much sent to
そう
an
だよね
early
ダーク
grave.
ゼロ
As
後ろから押していけばいいだけだ
Dark
もん
Zero
な
are
こ
going to be able
こ
to take this position. Are going to be able to take a very
ここ取れ
commanding
たので
position
かい
in
ね
this circle as well. But they're going to learn as round 3 closes where to go. Now, there were several teams who had a lot of beacon information. Darkzero was one of them, and it looks like they are happy to take this spot. And they know full well where that circle is going to be. So it is going to move to the northern side. They have predicted it correctly because they had that zone 4 info. Whereas those who are on the now southeast side of this circle, they're going to have to move through such difficult terrain. Not just that they're going to have to try and navigate their way through all of these teams watching them, but then it's about fighting the teams that are also moving at the same time.
ここら辺かな。
It's going to be a rather interesting set of rotations throughout this next ring. You see TSM, they have beacon available to them, guarding it with their life, trying to make sure that no one is going to be able to get that information. The guard, maybe someone got their iPad out, looking in the drone for some information. You can see the drone making its way over to the beacon to try and grab that. So they can begin their rotation. Furia just on the outskirts throughout the choke.
いやでもここのバスゲロ用やそう。ここ切れたら強いけどね、こっちいる分にはめっちゃ良そうなんだよな、挟まれて。
They're coming into 13th place with 4 points overall.
バッテリーロックアウトしてる1しかないの重いな。金山で。パイロン破壊できたら家の中イージーウィンできるよね。キバスか、キバスの中多分イージーウィンできるんだけどな。
And we are definitely not worried about this at all. So I'm having some faith in the team, and I know they're going to do what's right.
9 teams of the 15 are not within this next circle. In 20 seconds, that kill feed is about to light up as much as New Year's Eve is going to light up the skies with fireworks, because it is going to be so tough for any of these squads to actually successfully make their way into the circle. With that being said, you need to think about now, how do we pick up some points? If we're not going to be able to get into one of these priority positions and win this game, where can we actually get some KP? Well, G2, they've got to make their way in. They're going to have a plan, so let's have a listen, see what they have to say.
飛んだ。飛んだ。いや、ここ入んのきつそう。入んのゲロきつそう、D2 これ。そうだね。ファイト介入するしかないだろうな、これ。ちょっと待って。ちょっとチルしてファイト介入するしかないだろうな。そうだね。ここから後ろからどんどん押していくみたいな。ブラハが刺さってるけど、いや。あ、まだこれで負けて。いや、そのこれキル欲しい。やばいやばいやばい。当たんない。そう。わかる、大事な場面で結構頑張るんだよな。まあしゃあないこれは。
Unfortunately go down very calm comms, it must be said.
ですよ、結構ポイント稼いでるね。
6 teams went out in the end, including the likes of NRG, including the likes of Furia, HEC, and now we are down to just 9, Tiff.
Just 9 indeed, but it's TSM currently in 4th place overall with 12 points. Looking to find themselves a lot of success here in map number 2. Meanwhile, off-screen FaZe and Darkzero came out victorious, which I feel puts them in one of the best positions for this ring, because TSM has their work cut out for them. They have to cross the open area, cross all that terrain, and avoid all of the teams that could potentially be looking at them. Teams like 100 Thieves, XSET, Optic Gaming still in this match, all looking to make sure that TSM doesn't get this cross.
I'm also pretty worried. ESA, they're still alive in this one. If they were to get to the top 5, stats don't lie. We've learned that already today, and they could maybe continue.
これダークゼロ最強だな。ダークゼロと X セットが強いな。まあでも X セットの方が多分絡まれにくいからそっちの方が強いだろうね。ダークゼロの方は絶対絡まれるからいなさないといけなくて、後ろいなしたら後ろから X セットが来るから結構きつそう。フィジカルファイトです。ただベスパラ戦がきつい。負けたらとりあえず前の敵だけ持っていきたい。春はいやー、まあしゃあないなこれは。
but 100 Thieves
行
joined
く場所
them
が
as well.
ファイ
Now
ト
the
しちゃった
question
から
is, who
もう
is
仕
good
方ないこれは。
third-party MPS and will they survive? Because ESA is over here just trying to
いい
mind
場所取
their
ってる
own
ね。
business, one squad away from that top 5. And you said it, Gaskin, those stats don't
これ
lie.
このチーム知らないな。
They can't carry on, but Dark
どこ
Zero
のチームでしただろ
in an incredible position. Remember the rotation that Dark Zero made.
あ、ダーク
They
ゼロそっ
got
ち行ったん
that
だ
zone for info, and they moved
まあ
in
じゃあこれ
quick
ダークゼロ
manner.
ちょっときついね
The
挟まれてるから
last remaining player of MPL. Actually, no, sorry, Pow Pow, the last remaining player, as Madness
オ
goes
プティックを
down.
発した。
He's going
あ、
to
来
try
た
and wrap things out. Optic are going to
そこで
hold
押し切れれば
central
強いけど今 X セットまだ来れないから
still alive. Remember,
いやー
X
まあでも
second
きつそう
coming into today, and they have been able to outplace TSM once more.
そうだ
They
ねこれ
try
は
and
流して
close
もう
this
当たらせ
gap.
て X セットはそこをギョフって
It's Dark Zero, who arguably hold one of the scariest positions on the northern side of this circle right now.
リアルタイムのポイント表これめっちゃいいんだけどさこれで50いってたらなんかやる気になるんだよなだから検討させてほしいな50いったチーム全部
They're trying to get this bread. They want to get this cash on the line that's here today as well throughout split one. But Dark Zero, you're right. I'm loving the positioning from them. ESA as well. You can see there's an exhibit out for the information, just waiting for that to expire and just taking their time. A little calm before the storm.
いやでもダークゼロ場所強いいや場所は強いけどな絶対そうなんだよでもしてくるんだよね
seconds or so because the IGLs have got to figure out where you want to go.
X セットまあどっちか弾き切らないとやなでもアンチで多分右来れなくなるからいやでも X セットがマジどっちに来るかだなこれ場所的には多分 ESA かダークゼロが強いあとは X セットの気分次第
they would have been sandwiched, and they try and get a little bit of damage on these teams first hand.
Set playing it patient. They were able to get some damage down, but it's going to be Dark Zero who still has the ring at their back, and this is a must-win situation for them. They need to get into that match point contention.
いやでもそこ弾き切れたんだったらこれ X セット強いぞこれ
Bangalore ultimates are flying probably from Dark Zero, and you can see Pow Pow now falling.
これでダークゼロがオプティックほぼ無償で取り切れたらかなりダークゼロが強くなる
Same with X set, just so much damage and chaos going out again.
いや X セットそこ出てきたの偉すぎ負けたらマジででかいあこれダークゼロですねこれはダークゼロだわ
A lot of work to do as well because they've taken so much damage, but it's Dark Zero who joined the battle late. They have full red Evo shields and surely are in one of the best positions to win this right now. But they're still going to hit their shots, and the shots will be hit. Eliminated. We're down to 2. Make it down to 1. Dark Zero.
えぐいな、ドームが良かったな、マジで。この構成で。
Exactly where they wanted to play.
ムーブがマジでうまいんだろうな。
They knew they needed the win. This is a much win for them and doing everything that they needed to do to make it happen. It started over at Big Mod, taking down tripods, and they continued that journey northward to take over Skyhook.
Well, ESA's 100% win rate from top 5s is taken away from us, but it had to happen at some point, right? And Dark Zero coming to life at the right time, Tiff. We've been saying all along that, you know, they haven't had the best of splits, but they are the match point kings. Well, they get themselves closer to match point.
マジでドームからこの構成でよく勝つわ、本当に。
Maybe, just maybe, they could be able to find their way to
ちゃんと尊敬するわ。
Rain Day, I mean, you were watching that one in the wings. It was another very entertaining final circle. Well, your thoughts, sir?
My thoughts are that you lied to me, Dan.
Oh, no.
You told me they had a 100% win rate, which meant that if they were in a top 5, they should win. I guess not. I guess not. Math doesn't always math. Now, of course, Dan, bringing us the great stats that we need. And Tiff, I'm going to come and talk to you a little bit about that in-game circle. Obviously, ESA have been phenomenal. You can't win them all. 100% probably drops down to 80% now. They're going to be happy with that for sure. Second place will not be anything to sniff at. But I do think that final circle was interesting for me because I thought a lot of teams could have really won that one. XSET was in a pretty good position, high ground. The castle wall got broken, but you know they ended up being able to salvage that. But it was Dark Zero who kind of pulled a rabbit out of the hat there.
でも ESA 高いな。ESA ダークゼロオプティック X セット
they really turn it around
TSM スペースステーションファーザー
Yeah, I think it was interesting towards that end. Optic, instead of pushing forward towards Dark Zero, they kind of backed out and it went into the line of sight of XF. But it was this fight right here from Tripods that kind of started it all for Dark Zero.
まだこれ上位だったら多分まくれるかな
Had that initial kind of advantage on that fight, but ultimately some missed shots happen, and Dark Zero was going to take the lead on that fight.
まあここで上位取ったら全然まくれそう。
Luminosity even finding some issues, I believe, with Dark Zero as well, and I just feel like Dark Zero throughout their journey through map
そうだね、ここで上位取んないとまくれないな多分。
for a lot of those teams.
As they need to be. This is unheard of to me that I'm even saying the storyline. Dark Zero have won all our lands. This team, Zero, called the unequivocal best IGL in North America, APAC South, wherever you put him in the world, because of what he's able to do. But they did not get to land. That's what the story was heading here. Now, with a win, that's got to give them some confidence, Tiff, because we know we don't go home till somebody gets a win, and that's already proven that Dark Zero can get the job done in this lobby. It's just got to give just tremendous confidence heading into Storm Point.
That fight was so tough for TSM. There were so many teams looking to fire down upon them and just nothing they could do. ESA, though, found a lot of success, some good positioning towards this end game. And the moment they got to top 5, here's that positioning from XSET that you were like, I think this is going to be the God spot. And unfortunately for them, it was not. It was Dark Zero. It's the flat line. It's everything that they're doing to find success and just shooting essentially birds out of the sky.
Yeah, high ground typically a great spot there. You can kind of stay on the bridge for a long time, but the team inside the tunnel, that was Dark Zero. They ended up not causing any
そうだね。俺たちよりもちょっと楽ぐらいかな。俺たち10何ポイントぐらいだったから。8ポイントだったら全然負けれると思うな。いや、25でけえ。ESA 強いな、マジで。
25 points for Dark Zero. That is a heck of a game. It is already halfway to match point when you tally it up.
正直 TSM とかはもう確定だからあんまり気にしなさそう。まあでもリージョンファイナルの順位欲しいから上を取りに限ったことはないんだけど。そうだね、フューリアとかもまだ下に沈んでるから嬉しいだろうな、ダングルからしたら。
Rocket fueled start though that maybe some fans of theirs would have hoped.
結構確定したチームがワンチャン行くんじゃない？ワンチャンね。予選とかだったら上チーム多いけどね。どうなんだろう、世界大会。まあでもリージョンファイナルってね、あれなんだよね。世界大会、一番でかい世界大会のためのポイントが入るから、なんだっけ、夏にある一番でかい世界大会なんて言うんだっけ。そう、チャンピオンシップか。そう、チャンピオンシップのポイントが一応このリージョンファイナルのポイントも加わるから順位的なね。まあだから上位取っとくに限ったことはないんだよね。1位取ったらほぼ確定だし。
Out in front with a first place and a second place over Dark Zero, who takes second with 28 points. Esports Arena 34. Optic Gaming just behind that. The three teams closest to match point threshold.
この人って何の人？スナイプダウンとアルラリーわかるけど、わかんないんだよな。
Nobody guaranteed here at all. A really interesting dynamic happening, and guess what? It just gets better because now we're switching maps. Meaning, if you got comfortable there, you said, you know, our world's edge is starting to pick up, fellas. We're ready to go. Oh, we're going to Storm Point. That's right. It all shifts yet again. We'll rise to the occasion in Storm Point. Tip, it's a brand new opportunity for teams who haven't been getting going, like LG, maybe like TSM, to have that big breakout game.
あ、てか落ちたのか NA。待って。見たいところがあるんだよ。
Drop spot POIs kind of shake up as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot, of course, to answer. It's a really nice moment here when you get to have match point, and I certainly do enjoy the drama that unfolds. Yet, who is going to be the drama side of it? Will we see the low end of these teams rise up? Will we see top performers continue to perform? I think ESA, they feel like they're feeling it. And I know two people have opinions on this, and I want to get their thoughts as we switch maps.
なんだっけ、見る撮ってるパーティー。デザインフルじゃなくて、なんだっけ、あ、デザインフルだっけ。落ちたんだね、多分。今回オーバークラス多いな。
Out of touch, not able to really put together those big games we expected from them. But you look at that top table at the moment, Dan. You see ESA, you see Optic in the mix, and you see the match point specialists themselves, Dark Zero, in the mix, all leading the way. towards 50 points. This is going to get spicy, my friend. And we're adding a little bit extra sauce on there for you now as we head into Storm Point for match 3.
And there may not be room for all three of them at LAN, and that's what's terrifying. That is what is scary. It's terrifying that maybe we might not see some of these teams at LAN, considering how good they are when it comes to match point. I mean, imagine a LAN without DarkZero after their success at the last 2 LANs. It would be crazy, but at the same time, imagine if they still make it, despite the fact they come into today in 13th position with so much still to do. But Storm Point is where we head in. It means those teams who have found all the success on World's Edge are now going to have to shift those compositions, try and find what you have found success with throughout the season on Storm Point. I'm going to be looking at teams who have been dominating this map. TSM have been almost untouchable at times when it comes to their Storm Point play. One of the teams that can really
DarkZero is going to be in our picture in the bottom of your screen. You can see already hitting beacon. That beacon information really was the difference maker for them. You felt in that game, making a big rotation and winning a big fight at just the right time to hold down the World's Edge. But that's a long way away now. Something I want to keep my eyes on is at the moment. You can see the esports arena and tripods. Let's say they're a little bit too close for comfort, I would imagine. Everyone else is feeling pretty comfy. But those two, I think they can feel each other's breaths on their neck.
いや、戦わないのか。下がったのに変えているもん。だってここは去ってるんだもんね。
A previous esports arena team, they just can't avoid them at the moment, but we'll see whether it can be a little bit more successful. Their rotation and maybe tripods could do something in map number 3. But you can see the circle very central for a lot of these teams, and we will see several teams moving very quickly, but also a few teams who will probably now take their time because they don't necessarily have that.
有料物件か左の方だろうな。
I would say would be one of them, right in the northeast side of the map. They've got a long way to go, and they have no idea where that second zone is going to be. So do they just start now playing edge and pushing teams, being the aggressive team that we know that they are? One team I do want to talk about though, Mark, is LG. Now, they have been the actual most consistent team on Storm Point when it comes to average placement, average kills, total points per game. It's all been LG. The only thing they haven't really had on Storm Point is the victories to compare with some of the other teams. So can they find now that potential that they've been finding throughout the split? Because they need it. They're down in 18th position.
Yeah, they definitely do need a couple of games here. Just to kind of settle the nerves a little bit, just to make them feel good. And one way to certainly
なんでこんな人が降りてるのを見ると強そうに見えるけど、俺たちが降りると弱いんだろうな。
You complete the tasks, you take down the specters who come out, and you pick up the loot to go alongside it. So that's the plan here for Luminosity. Looking elsewhere though, tripods, we saw them get out of dodge, hitting the gravity cannon and going towards ship 4 away from Cenote Caves where esports arena were, but no real engagements to speak about. At the moment, everyone is looking very comfortable. No surprise to see on our map overhead that the guard are in the center of zone, HEC in the center of zone. But TSM taking a little bit longer. One thing we always point out on Storm Point for TSM is in the lobbies where Furia is there, their point total hasn't been quite as high. And you always have to be aware if you're at the northern side of the map and your rotation gets stopped for just a few seconds.
CR か、NA のリージョン。あ、まずそれはいいね。ノーランのカットもでかいな。
Complexity and poor old complexity at the moment.
魚吹きそう。
Just can't buy a 3v3 win.
Yeah, they just haven't really been able to get going, have the complexity, and you know it's going to be so tough to try and recover from that.
これ距離島の方か。
And going out again very early on here. They're going to have to try and rebuild and maybe hope that
これあれやな。
teams aren't quite
プロリーグ1周目のとこがアンチだな。
But you are right, Furia, you know they are
HEC の方の横のところに寄り切るか、ダークゼロの方に寄り切るか。
Actually put it its correct way, but they managed to do it last week on Thursday. TSM and Furia were in the same lobby, and we spoke about this before.
まあ HEC の横ら辺に寄り切りそうだけどな。
Points, but the circles did benefit TSM ever so slightly. We had a few northern pools, and I think TSM have learnt now that they have to just keep an eye on their backside, right? They can't allow Furia to walk up on them for free, and they can't allow Furia to take advantage of many elongated fights that TSM may have on the northern side of the map. What has benefited TSM right now is everyone else around them. They've rotated so fast, right? Everyone has moved so quickly. It means that TSM's path is relatively clear into this circle now. So the only noise they potentially will hear probably would be Furia. So they don't have to worry about too many other things.
Well, TSM are going to hit the beacon at the moment, just down the bottom of the ramp on the connecting two
なん
buildings
て
at
言っ
the
てるんだ
bottom
ろ
of the
う。
wall that you can see on your screen, so they'll have a little bit more information when that zone does start to close. NRG at the moment just chilling, just holding things down, looking to see if anyone's in the vicinity they have to worry about, and it's going to be MPS who are quite close to them. And MPS, I have to say, Dan, we were joking about match point syndrome. Every time I say MPS, all
な
I
んか
can
俺も
think is
大会
match
開
point
きたいけど
syndrome.
な。
Obviously, this is not where we're at.
That's how it's officially titled, and that's how it will go down in any sort of dictionary as well. But MPS, they have had, you know, a relative amount of success so far. They haven't exactly been
ドラフト
struggling.
ド
They're
ラ
in
フトじゃな
sixth
くて
position, but
ガチ
still
ガチくじで決めたいけどな
38
俺普通
away
に
from match point. But there's only been two
プロ
games. It's
60
not
人呼ん
exactly
で
all
マジでちゃん
doom
と
and gloom.
本当に
I think
マジ
what's
の
scary
く
is
じ
the
全部
fact
決め
that
たい
BSA are so close now to match point with how much success they found in the first two games. But as we're on Storm Point, things may change. ESA certainly haven't had as much success when it comes to Storm Point as they did on the other side of World's Edge. So that might allow a few of these teams to start catching up.
MPS playing hard zone at the moment. You see, they've got Loba as well. So when that black market is available, thank you, Madness. It's almost as if you got a direct line to my comms. They're going to be able to pick up some extra loot, some extra heals, and all that good stuff that Loba can provide you with towards the end game. You can see the beacon information is going to be pretty good at the moment. Just in the top left-hand side of your screen, you can just about see the outlines of where that green was. But Luminosity, you mentioned they need a big game. They need to just re-establish themselves in this lobby. Looks like they want to take a fight here.
Well, if they get an average of 5
近いな、
kills
20
per game on this map across the split, expect them to have some fights here. And you can tell that with a composition like this, they are going to be actively looking for them, and of course go for that wombo combo of smoke into scan to try and punish those who don't have any sort of digi threats. But it looks like the team that they were focusing on has got out of there. They've got out of dodge, and it might just be a beacon scan here for Luminosity, and then start to think about moving into the next zone.
Yeah, it's Tripods who were there and now aren't there. They are deep in the zone, re-wrapping towards Barometer, which is completely free at the moment, so they should be able to move in there if they needed to. Or maybe they're going to hit the grab cannon back over to Cenote Caves, where Esports Arena still are. And that fight, obviously, that kind of threatened to happen right at the start of the game, didn't really materialize. But LG, they're chilling for now. They've got nobody anywhere near them at the moment. And look at that zone pool. We are going a little bit more north towards Cascade Falls, it looks like. NRG have hedged their bets there. TSM still up on the northern side of the circle, probably waiting for the next beacon as well. Which would be a very smart thing for them to do. The guard inside of that zone as well. Dark Zero holding down the choke. Be overlooking all the teams that are rotating in from the mill side and Cenote Caves, but it's kind of a calm before the storm moment you feel here. Everybody, whenever we get to these match points lobbies and everyone's playing for, you know, not just placement, not just for money, but also for qualification for LAN, which is, like we keep kind of reiterating, what everybody plays this game for. You feel the nerves in the lobbies. Nobody's going to be aping the 3v3s, maybe like they would on a week 2 or a week 3.
And it may seem all well and good for those teams who are in the circle and in a building, but as we know in Apex Legends, the circle very rarely finishes on those little small buildings. It's often outside of them, so you might be good enough for staying alive and getting to top 5, but then what you do elsewhere is TSM, aggression in the early stages. Again, they see a team that maybe is going to be weaker than them.
I think this might be MPS.
あ、来てるフラットライン。
Excuse me, no, it's
ただ追いができないなこれは。
who they're forcing away, but they're going to have to slow down here
これが
and
フュリア。
just reset. You can also see that 100 Thieves in the vicinity have taken down one of Furia. So TSM probably going to be a little bit hungry to see if they can collapse on the last 2 players alive, take them down, force them towards zone, and that's exactly what's happening. How does not want to let these kills get away as we jump over now?
みんな結構好戦的だな。構成が好戦的なチームが多いな。
as well, or got the final wipe onto one of the players of Furia, so they were getting involved from a distance. So good for TSM to move, but BR Demons getting aggressive.
オプティックとしてはここで負けたくはない。ただ位置的には、いやそのスキャンつけねえな。いやー、その後ろからも来てる。一回下がりたい。そうだね。ダクゼロか。当てすぎだろ。ちょっと待って。リオンちゃんたちなのでは。
Everybody is trying to force their way through this choke. Dark Zero, who are the team who are holding it down base.
今のやば。頭一個だったけど今。
FaZe not so far away and XZ just a little bit further central zone that could get involved in the fight, but they will just post up for now. But this is what happens on Storm Point when
G2 は追ってくだろうな。もう G2 多分チャンピオン取る以外、1位取る以外多分世界で上がらないからな。
They will try and pick up KP where they can. We know it is not the same style of map as World's Edge, and sometimes it can be about finding KP.
当てすぎましてザインフル。
G2 crouching on edge of zone at the moment, trying to hold out and trying to search for that final player who was not able to do so for now. So a little bit of a change of plan, more towards what we're going to do when this zone closes for them. You can see KO just popping those shield cells to make sure when they do have to make that move, they're going to be a lot more comfortable to do so.
100T あ、そうなんだ。
But elsewhere on the map,
全く知らない俺。
their way through a choke as well.
名前知ってるけど、
Optic
まま
and Dark Zero
セルとか見ないんだ
very,
よな。
very close to each other. And BR Demons, I was about to say, Aiden has managed to
いや、まあまあ取れるだろうな。
and he's got 22 seconds to get his teammates
そこ強いからな。
The only problem is, Optic Gaming are on those
視野は無理だろうな。
and they will not be leaving them.
オプティックも欠けてるからやり合ってくれたらワンチャン。
Optic don't really have anywhere to go because they're being watched by Dark Zero and G2, and as soon as Aiden even makes a remote move, he pokes his head round the corner. He very much has to turn around and return his journey because he is not getting those boxes whatsoever.
I mean, I can't say it on broadcast, but you all know what Aiden is thinking. Just trying to get my banner. Just let me live. Let me live my life. But this is Optic Gaming who are holding them out. This is a comm lobby. There's no
学校行け。
niceness about this whatsoever. And unfortunately, I think he's just going to have to watch reads.
俺もサボったから言えねえけど。
Game and play this one as a solo. The only issue for him now is he's still got to work his way up. Is he going to get there? 2, 1. He gets the banner. He gets it.
こんなバラ回収にこんな歓喜する。
He can have a little laugh towards himself and might be able to get his teammates back up. And you know what? As a 2, we've seen 2s manage to do a lot of work in Apex Legends history.
3か奥だったらまだ間に合うか。
Threat to the lobby BR Demons. They'll be joining the fray very late.
でも手前で多分オプティックも起こしてくると思うんだよな。スーパーグラインド。
Something a little bit different. But we see these zone move again.
起こすところきつと起こした後未来なさそうやな。
heavy pull to either side. It is going to favor the likes of Dark Zero, XZ, HGC, who all find themselves on this kind of island that is in the center of the map. Aiden's still on his merry way, and he is going to get Reeds back up. So fair enough. You know what? Fair enough for going for it when there's only a few seconds left and your life was on the line.
Tripod's gone. We did get our happy ending to the story we were following with our Reds coming in, but Tripods have been eliminated. So 3 games for them and not really any points to speak of so far. The interesting thing for me isn't quite what's happening in the zone. As we see G2
人数多分確認してからこれ詰めるだろうね。
It's actually what's happening on the opposite side.
TSM,
COG and Space Station all so close to each other at the moment. But G2 are looking to finish off Optic here. They know there are 2. They know that they have the opportunity to push, but you can see with so many teams still in the area.
まあ単純にムーブに専念してるんだろうな。まああとは本当に火力がやばいのか。パッとの。後者だろうな。後者とでどっちもありそうだけど。いやでも G2 前押していかないと。これ分かってんのか前の数。分かってそうだな。
teams out of the 17 who are within this next zone as MPS get eliminated in your kill feed. NRG have also just lost 1. So not only have you got that big collection of teams in the southeast that you talk about, when you look northeast, there's also 5 or 6 teams there as NRG still having this battle, and it's Luminosity on the other side, and they get the better of them. LG very good at Storm Point, have been the most consistent when it comes to points gained in Storm Point, and it seems like maybe just switching over to this map could do them wonders here.
Luminosity going to be able to jump up to the high ground, eventually jump up to the high ground.
スイートの面倒見のいいおっちゃん感めっちゃ好きなんだよな俺。
Niels all a little bit of credit here. Maybe we should check in there wasn't a third party in the area. That's what I'll say. But one thing to keep your eye on as well is maybe the overall leaderboards. I mentioned how NRG and HEC were 2 teams who are joint points.
ビッグスクのやつめっちゃおもろかったもん。そんなことは使うんじゃないって。お父さんがやったことないんだもん。お父さんが。
Sweet ratting out to a top 5 finishing game number 1, but apart from that, a little bit quiet here from NRG, which is good news if you're chasing those spots. FaZe one of those teams who have a long chase.
いやここ取れるのはでかいね。ここ全然このキャラだったら強いんだよな。いやーでもワトいないからグレーで壊滅されるぞ。うまいことつかないと。あー刺された。 これついてきます。
Had a good game number 1 for placements. They didn't really get much
割ってる。
KP. Can they change that here in match number 3?
いや、なんかどういうことやってる。
From the leader, but he needs a bit of help.
It's the Newcastle wall versus the Newcastle wall, and now
Yeah.
Sharpie on the flank has to hit these final shots, but they're not going to be able to.
Get off, I got it.
PR Demons also go out optic full, as well as Space Station and 100 Thieves who wrapped on that fight to get
い
some
やー惜しい今
to just
マジで激ロー。あと2。
LG have also struggled to get out from where they were hiding.
シルジも死んで、あ、やっぱそこがになったか。そうだね、ここだね。NA はちょっと左になってる。ドームファイトしたもんな、今、キャス。うまい。うまいけど、T7 が死んで、ガードってあれだっけ。なんか2周目か3周目で1だったもんだっけ。ワトソンだ。頑張れ。
You can see that ping there on your screen. He's actually pointing out X.
海外結構な入キャするローバー多いんだよな。
3
パーティーぐらいいるんじゃないかな、多分。ローバー3パーティー。ローバー結構制されるんだよな。
They are consistently getting to the late game, which is good for their point.
バッテリー爆弾ケンちゃん。あ、そうするか。すんがりするか。
But our previous victors, Dark Zero, a team that
冬
has
そういたと思
rotated
ったも
so
ん今。
far in match number 2 to try and get into the final circle. Well, they've got still a journey here if they want to get into the last circle here on Storm Point.
いや、これはイージーファイトですね。ああ、ちゃんとドローンも壊して飛べる。ただラウンド4で時間がもうあんまない。
Is there somewhere for them to pop a Valkyrie? Can they get up into the skies without being taken out? It looks like there is already pressure on them.
Yeah, a lot of pressure already, but the Valkyrie will
飛ぶしかない。
thanks to having the Bangalore smoke. But let's
探して入る場所を探せ。
see what the boys are having to say.
バンがいるからまだ。いいね。やばい、グリがなんか置いてきて近く。いや、大丈夫だな。いいね、この目強いな。この目最強だな。いやー、ジュラトーファイトしてー。ジュラトーファイトしてーな、これ。いや、入ってる。これダークドラゴンえぐい強いぞ、これ。いや、でもジュラトー2番でいるのか。ファイトするか。そうだよな、ファイトしたよな。もう今普通に。うますぎ。ゼロ、これキーマンマジ。エイムパッドだったって今。まあまだ5位6キルの5位はでかい。10伸ばしたいな。どっか介入して。まあ一応入ってるからバレなかったら10伸びそう。いやでも来るよな。いやまあしゃあない。うますぎだろ今のゼロ。エイムパッドだったって。
It was a crazy Valkyrie, but they made it work. They get into the top 4, and they are over the moon with that. More points to them towards that match point threshold.
ゼロは決まだよ。
Meanwhile, you speak of match point threshold.
やばすぎだろ今のエイム。
Still alive and have passed the 50 point mark. They are on to match point. So next game, they will have the opportunity to win today's competition in match number 4. And they still have an opportunity to win this game as well. We're into the top 3. What is crazy crazy, by the way, is Exit held that island for so long, and they just got pushed off it so comfortably by Dark Zero, who really did ruin their day. But it's 100 thieves, it's HEC, and it's ESA.
今のゼロの M やばくね。
ガチクソ寝起きなんだけど。
やばかったぞ今。もうゲンちゃんと同じエイムしてた。パーが全部吸い付く。いやーでもさすがにこれはジュラ島が強そう。あ、1対1だ。あ、マトソン構成だ。どっちもマトソン構成だわ。
I think it's right that you point out the position that HEC are currently in, but there's a lot of water between them, and they're both going to have to move as this circle closes. So a lot of it's going to come down to what weapons they have to use, and also, of course, legend selection here. Is there any abilities that can help you out? We know 100 Thieves like to utilize certain legends defensively, and maybe that could be a position they could put themselves in a little bit later. Crook also has the drone to work with, and EMP could be massive here, but it's a very defensive composition.
いやでも場所向こうが先切れるか
？Not necessarily the most aggressive legend to work on
this
this side and in this final circle.
My thought here for 100 Thieves is, do they have that castle wall available?
いや 100T つらいなこれ。
結構苦戦してんの？
苦戦っていうかね、場所が多分最後ね辛そう。
あーこれね、ほんとだ。いやキャッスルウォールがあれば。
でも一瞬で壊さそうだよね。
言うてなんかあんまり変わんなくない？
そこまでか。若干ジュラ島の方が強いぐらいか。
若干強い。たまるね多分。耐えれそうだけど。
スキルもたまるから。そうだね。パイロン破壊されなかったら余裕で耐えれそう。裏に置く。
先にキャッスルが飛び出して、
その後ろに、
あ、いいよ。
で、その後ろに、あれを置きたい。
うまい。
ないから。
でもこれきついか？
いや、
パイロンないか。
パイロンないんか。それはきついわ。まあ、パイロンないな、しゃあねえな。なかったんかな？まあ、なかったんか分からなかったことが。
I mean, the castle wall always seems like a good idea, but you are so vulnerable to just being focused heavily because you've only got one all-in play, and it does become a little bit obvious. So as soon as
このキャスターの人ら3人顔の輪郭似すぎでしょ。全員同じぐらいの顔の大きさしてない？
本当や。
左と真ん中の人なんか全く一緒でしょこれ。
てか、一番右の人マジ目の色綺麗すぎでしょ。
ね。
カラコン入れてみたいになってる俺。
Just listening to that interaction between them, Mark, they're happy with their results. They're like, this is what we needed to do. We're doing it.
The crazy thing is, right, Dark Zero, we know they're quite an emotional team. It's no secret to anyone. But when the vibes are high and they're playing well and they're winning games, that's the team who's won 2 LAN championships. That's arguably the most winning team that we have in Apex when it comes to the big events. When the bright lights are on, that's when Dark Zero seems to turn up. And they're doing it now. The worry for them is ESA, though. Because ESA getting to match point now and having a free hit means that Dark Zero know that if they see them and if they recognize the comp, whatever it might be, the way they're playing, it doesn't matter. They need to eliminate them because otherwise Dark Zero, as well as they've played, still might not have that chance of qualification.
イエセマッチポイント早くね。
tabulations I was doing behind the scenes getting into it, and I want to talk to Dan about
まだ3試合目だけどこれ。
マッチポイントいった？フナティックか？
フナティックですね。ESA が言ってるわ。あ、言ってるわ。転倒してる。早い。早すぎだろ。あ、すごいな。3試合で23キル稼いでる。
やるね。
それは行くわ。ダークゼロがあと11。でもあれだわ。ESA 以外まだ点灯しなさそうやな。
あとダークゼロ良さそうじゃない？
39だからワンチャン次点灯するね。ESA は今プロリーグないなんだ。10位。あ、まあじゃあこれはもうほぼ ESA は上がり確定だな。よほどのことがない限りは。
It's all well and good saying, well, right now we're okay, so maybe we should play defensively, but this could go on for 9 games, and then suddenly you've missed your moment and you've missed your opportunity to pick up some points to stay ahead of them. So it's so tough.
ダークゼロよくドームでこの順位だわ。
Sometimes you've just got to ignore the fact.
あ、ドームなんだ。
ダークゼロドームだよ。
You just have to play your own way.
ドームでフナティック構成してるよ。
A crazy match number 3. I can't believe we've already got a team on match point. That is quicker than what we saw in EMEA earlier because Aurora weren't able to get over the line in match number 3 like we've just seen ESA. But now, going into match number 4, ESA will have a slight target on their back, and it's whether anyone can spot them.
マジここの本当にゼロのエイムを見てほしい。俺は驚愕した。途中で言ってると思うけど。
this result right now, let alone ESA playing as well as they did. But being the first team on match point, being as threatening and successful in these top 5 situations, this is a surprise to many people watching casually, just tuning in saying,
フェイズなんかめっちゃ構成毎週変えてない？
変えてる。今日もこのことで。これまで惜しかったんだよな。激浪あと1点。
あー、リロード挟んじゃった。
あ、ここじゃない、この次だな。この次のゼロの夢が分かった。イエス残ったのか。8で取ってるし。ここ。
おい。おい。
エイムパッドだったの？
うまい。さすが俺の弟子や。
怒られてるよね。当てるね、お互い。いや、これは当てすぎだ、こっちが逆に。
ね。
これは当てすぎだわ。石とかじゃないわ。火力が強すぎた、向こうの。いやー、このミサイルサーバー刺さっちゃったな。
キャッスルのあのアビリティこっち側に持ってくれてたら多分耐えれてた。
そうだね。
Orgs, look at us. Look what we can do in the best lobby in the world. We're going to throw these 21-point games in. Nothing to slouch at, though. 100 Thieves and Esports Arena, each getting 17th in second and third place.
Yeah, this is a great showing from HEC.
ESA 強いな。毎回ね、ESA 毎回強い。
ずっと強いんだよな。
ずっと強い。オプティックが ESA の時も最強だったしな。
いいチーム作るね。
オプティックどんな感じなんだ？
オプティックも今多分4位とかだと思うよ。結構上にいる。ダークゼロはそうだね。2位から、まあ4から、1位から5位の間だったら多分上がれると思う。上位でも必須だね。
ほうほうほう。
今、県外だからな、ダークゼロ。8ポイント差だったかな、確か。8ポイント差だね。10位と。多分上位取ったらまくれるレベルで。
まあ、ダークゼロこのポイントシステム最強だからな。マッチポイントシステム最強のチームだから。行くでしょ。
行きそうやね。
逆にフ
ューリアとか NRG があんまり振るってないんだよな。スペースステーションもそうだけど。点灯したな。マジダークゼロと ESA 以外まだ点灯しなそうやな。
ほうほうほうほうほう。NRG この順位とかで終わったらワンチャンやばいか。
and complexity.
ワンチャンやばい。
And let's see, it might be Space Station who are also ahead of Dark Zero.
そろそろここからキルムーブしていくパーって言いそうやな。
Dan, react to the players who are
まあ下の方はすぐやるね。
for these teams to be in this position. Top 10 leaderboard, 2 out of the 3.
この人さ、俺知らないんだけどさ、ESA の上の2人の上の2人。
いや、俺も知らないよ。パッドの人だったと思う。二人とも
あー、パッドから出てきた人か。
うん。
いいな、ダークゼロ3人がちゃんとキル取ってるのいいな。さっきゲームってゼロ。
COL とかマジでやばいね。11位だから今。総合順位が。で、今回のリージョンファイナル20位とかだったから、ワンチャンキルムーブ変えるかもね。
変えそう。まあなんか結構みんなでもバンが採用してるからな。
うん。普通に NRG もやばい。
やばいね。
ガチでやばい。スッさん頑張ってくれ。
Sometimes hard to tell, but you can see the results are certainly there as a top team.
3試合で転倒してんのえぐいな。
Making good end game decisions, and it sounds like a very simple thing to say, right? You don't want to make a bad end game decision, but it's so tough to do under pressure. And I think, you know, sometimes it's about not doing anything.
何これ。うまっ。
ドラゴンボール当たってね。
これはうまいわ。
And then making the right one. Let everybody else do something before you are forced
Oh.
to
Ah,
play.
I see.
And I think Esports Arena have just been very patient in this lobby where there's going to be a lot of teams who are very nervous. And I think some teams might be making plays a little bit hastily.
これ ESA の参謀ですねみんな。
ESA 打ち合い方うまいよな、戦い方が。
絶対我慢試しなのに打っちゃうからな。うめえ。
ね、なんか最近出てきたっぽいのに、
強いね。
VC とかもちゃんとしてるし。
Clutches in some big games in the ALGS. It's not like these guys aren't fraggers. They do the thing. And if you want to see if you are at the same level or on par as the players that you're watching here, make sure to check out the Challenger Circuit. Registration closes January 4th. Games are
コマンドセンターどっから見れるんだ？
あるよ、普通に。
teams who want to have a spot here, but also
who
want to have a spot back in Pro League who have been
Google Pixel さん来た。スイッチの Google Pixel 率やばくないか？
俺今大酒だもん。
Google Pixel 7 Pro 新登場。写真の編集もあっという間に消しゴムマジックで囲ってタップしてほら魔法のように思い通り。
なんか一時期ジェミニマンだっけ？めっちゃなかったよな。
You can contribute to the
ジェミニマン？
ジェミニマンだっけ？なんか広告流れてなかった記憶。
映画のやつか。
そうそうそうそうそう。
ESA, the only team on match point, do something historic and win it in 4, or will there be a chance for the land champions, but not the online champions, to make a statement here in the regional finals? That's Dark Zero. All of that coming up after this.
NRG 入れとくか。やばそうだし。今度は1位のチームじゃなくて、ボーダーのチームをちょっとね、見るのが楽しいよね。
俺 ESA よりどこじゃESA とダーク TSM とダークゼロ入れとこう。これ3つだけだよね、入れられるの。
3つだけに。いやいやいや、TSM とかじゃないでしょ、ここは。ボーダーのチームでしょ、やっぱり。見るのは。
あ、それはあれポイントがボーダーってこと？
そう。もうポイントがボーダーでギリギリのラインを攻めてるチームをやっぱ見たい。
確かに。
あと、オプティックか？
これチャットって消してないのこれ？これチャットで閉じれないのこれ？
チャット？
コマンドセンターの。
閉じれないかもね。
うざいか。
大画面表示とかにすればいいんじゃない？
確かに。あ、コマンド出ちゃった。ダークゼロ TSM あとどこにする？
いや、俺は NRG とマップ配信と、オプティックと本配信。
俺もそうにしよう。NRG。NRG とマップ配信と、あとどこって言ったっけ？
オプティック。 まあ、TSM 確かにな。個人配信あるからな。
Once again to the ALGS regional finals here for North America and match point is active, my friend.
てかアルゼンチン勝ったんだ昨日。
One of the underdogs coming into today for one of those
あ、
land
勝ったんだ。
qualification spots.
めっちゃ面白かった。また PK 戦で決まったけどな。
And now over that 50-point threshold. It's going to be a crazy end to what has been a very emotional streak for a lot of these players and teams. And I'm looking forward to seeing if they can convert right
お、
now.
春視点は始まってるね、試合。
A few more
あ、始まった。
teams to join them. I'm going to bring Spider Tiff back in now to cast the next game with me.
春はもう別タブで開いておこう。確かに配信してるチームいないな。なんなら NRG とか配信してなくない？
もうみんなしないよ今。
They definitely did, and they've kind of had a roller coaster of a Pro League Split 1 as well. Starting off, formerly known as Atlanta Premier, going off on their own as HEC, looking to find success. And I feel as if Split 1 playoffs, orgs have to be looking your way. So I'm keeping my eye out. Maybe we'll see some announcements soon because, you know, with XSET picking
ランドマーク俺らと同じチームいねえじゃねえかよ。
いるよ、いるいる。あー、そっか。三上か。三上はいない。三上はいない。
みかん折りいないよね。
三上はいない、さすがに。
ダークゼロも結構なかなかしょっぱいとこ降りてんな。
これ
なんか消せた？これどこで消せんのみんな。教えてくれ俺に。
全画面表示や。ダークゼロこことあれなのどうも降りてんの？
そうだよ。
でこのポイントなの？
そうだよ。
すごくね普通に。
うん、やばいよマジで。
いやよっぽど IGL がいいやろな。神 IGL ゼロ。
チャット欄閉じてから。
うっさんあれやん。バルシアバンガやん。スイートバンガロールなんだけど。
いいよな、これ俺たちも言うとほしいわ。これアンチはこれカスケ4の上の方かな。あ、じゃ左上っぽいな。普通にウォールの下のいつものとこになりそう。
Talk on the timeline previously was very interesting where Season and TSM kind of were duking it out for that trident that was falling in between North Pad and the wall, and not sure who got it this time around or if that little scuffle was ever determined, but I don't think TSM has trident, so maybe CSN or Season is going to take it.
Well, let me tell you, I've got a map overhead, and one of those season players is moving very, very quickly. I can only imagine that he is.
Got the Rory!
I'm pretty sure that he's in the Trident. Otherwise, he's doing something that I don't know. I presume he's not playing Octane. Put it that way. But TSM, you can see that they're going to have the crafting to work with. Not sure if they have a beacon though.
下がったよオプティック。行くね。戦いに行ったらわ。
Nice, good kill. I'm gonna fly up again in a second. I'm batting.
Nading inside.
いや、スナイプダウンか。起きた。
Almost cracked Newcastle.
強えニューキャッスル。エイムがいい。
I can't reload my game code.
Knock two, knock two.
In the corner. Nice.
Alright.
I grabbed the gold. Nobody, I don't. In Spider Cave, in Spider Cave.
ちゃんと報告してね。
You might die to spiders.
いや、でかいな、このポイント。
Just got duped. It's as simple as that. And I'm not talking about they had, you know, they were hoodwinked or they had the rug pulled out, whatever you want to say. It was because Duplex picked up all 3 kills. So Dupe, who was, you know, on the front of a lot of people's opinions, shall we say, before he made that crazy rat play, is stepping up here for Optic Gaming. But here is Exit. I mentioned the battle at the top of the table. Exit seem to be winning at the moment, but they're under a little bit of pressure here.
There is a lot of pressure. You got that Prowler in hand, only about 70 bullets remaining, and it's going to be the end of the road here in map number 4 for MPS. Now a clean reset, but you see an enemy crypto drone is nearby, so they're not going to be alone here. The fact that they're even getting able to reset this much is nice, but shots incoming just
まだこれオプティック戦うぞこれ。オプティックヤジムーブしてるって。
もう一緒ミュートで喋ってたわ。
ね。
やる。
オプティックヤジムーブしてますこれ。目の前いる敵全員倒していってるこれ。
いつも通りや。いつも通りやで。でもエリア広いぞ。この家の中の。うん。だいぶ通り取るから、これ。
あ、この3スキャンはでかい。
いや、しかもこの裏取りは熱いよ。
刺さるぞこれ。
いや、いいエイムや。
いい射精、いいエイム。
これはもうボコボコや。
これはイージービンですよこれは。
うん、イージーウィンやね。
あ、これはイージーウィンですよこれは。ノーダウンとかしたい、ノーダウンとかしたい。あー、イージーウィンですね。いいスイッチ。
あ、ダークが死んだ？
ダークだ死んだわ。ここダークだな。
Nothing around us. Nothing around us. They're up top. They're up top.
やばい
さ、この VC の落ち着け方やばいよね、オプティックの。誰も声荒げないもん。
そう、オーケーオーケーとか言って。
やべえ、全員さ、なんか落ち着いてるタイプだから。ノーセプションみたいな VC。
ノーセプションめっちゃ落ち着いてたな、見たけど。
めっちゃ落ち着いてる。
これ
また、やった。
こっち行こうって。いや、どんまいやね、みたいな。
関西弁はやっぱ、あれか。
落ち着くの。
俺もちょっと関西弁でちょっと今日喋るわ。
絶対わかんねえよ、もう。いや、オプティック6ポイントでっか。
いや、これ熱いな。
これ熱いね。
これ熱いな。これ、アンチどこや？
普通にあれじゃない？チェックポの右の方じゃない？右上がチェックポじゃない？集まり方的に。
マップ配信に次のアンチ出てないの、なかなかやばいけどな、これ。
これあれだよ、だからそのみんなでアンチを向きたいよねって言ってたよ、これ。TSM の上のところか、まあでもこのルールだったら多分左によるんだろうな。チェックポのいつものところかな、左下の。
ギジギジしてきたね。
ね。
NRG もアンチにちゃんと入ると。次、オプティックで標的になるんじゃないのこれ。
次になりますね、これは。
さすがにいかんと思うけどな。赤はなっとるぞ。オプティックさ。
オプティック赤金紫だよ。
でね、G7 2人ぐらい持ってんだよね。
BR
いってるわ。オプティックいってるわ。
下がってる？
いや、もう家キープしない。
みたいな。
左側のところをキープするんかな。
かもね。
チコロっぽじ。
これ、マップの入れ替えが。こうやってって、ああ、もうマップの入れ替えが、まあいいや。
オプティック勝ってほしいな。
オプティックがでも全然いねえじゃん。
そう。
Knox, see if you could get up here.
Well, I can, but then if they were to swing out this side.
I'll just full heartbeat. If you get up there, I can full heartbeat right here.
チェクポンもなかなか少なくない？スーパーしかいねえ、チェクポンが。100T がもう最初からゲロキズポジ入ってんのか。
ね、あと COL が入ってきそう。入ってくるな。これ下かな？普通に NRG とかがキープしてるとこにたまになるじゃん。
うん。
そっちかな 100T の下のさ、若干こっち寄りのアンチかな、最初アンチが。そこっぽいな。フューリア。
TSM と G2 が当たったらフューリアが来るやつや。今 IMC の時で突っ込んでいってるよ。
Once you get to that end game scenario, and that I feel like maybe it's the messaging, maybe it's the level they're talking to each other, but I feel like it is helping. Yes, it's not necessarily translating to the first 3 maps that we've witnessed thus far today, but overall, I think tripods are growing.
ビッグいい位置取ってんな。チェクポのアンチないからな、最近。あるとしてもチェクポ左側のアンチしかないから。
いや、チェクポの中には寄り切んないからね、ほぼ。
左側はあるね。
左側はあるね、左側はあるね。大体チェクポによったら下に寄り切るもんな。毎回。下に寄り切るか横に寄り切るもんな。
uncharacteristically quiet so far in this lobby. We've seen a couple of team fights, but we've also seen them go out pretty
いや、オプティック、頑張れ。
They have a
頑張
lot
ってほ
of
しい
space
ね
here on this side of the map, though, and we'll be able to chill for quite some time. But looking at where that zone is pulling, it looks like we're going down to the southern point of checkpoint.
15部隊になっちゃった。
low ground where those buildings are. So
移動中に勝ち合っても NA はそのままファイト続行みたいな。
絶対するもんね、ファイト。逃げることがないもんな。
やるみたいな。
こいつらやろうぜ。
やる
とりあえず倒すか。
あ、魚振られたらどんまいや、みたいな。
You're not lying. We have all of our teams that play
やべえとこで打っちゃってたもんな、さっきは。
nearby over there. Complexity at the top of checkpoint. The guard just
G2
near the spiders area. HEC to the
あ、まあ、
left.
左から
hanging
回
out
る
with
か。
X set.
フューリアも待っていま
That
す。
just goes to show you. I'm hedging my bets. That's exactly where the zone is going to
そ
go.
こ
I
3パーティ
don't
ー。
need a data analyst to tell me
あ、
otherwise.
G2 が結構北側から来てるから、これワンチャンオプティックと当たるよ。
You don't need a spade. You know, you don't have to go digging. It's all good. Fury now.
ESA どこ取ってんだこれ。
They're going to re-rotate up to the northern side, and I
あ、これ TSM 対フューリア見れるぞ。
You know, they haven't seen anything
これ当たるかな。
whatsoever on the
これ当たるよ、これ多分。他ファイト起きなさそうやね。ほぼ。
They're looking to wrap behind teams. They're always looking to pinch teams.
え、これ熱いよ。
There's no one to pinch. So you can see that Rampage is going to be revved up.
TSM みたい。
The team who's going to be in front of them, Team
個人配信で見ればいいよ。
TSM versus Furia. We might be a few
あ、そう
moments
だ。
away from seeing it.
一回エナジーが来てる。
あ、バカバカバカバカ。バカバカバカって言った。トランさん、サブスクリート5個ありがとう。サブスクリート60個目ありがとう。ありがとうね。お、
あ、これ来るぞ。
お、出て出て
出て出て。いいね、大松。春の。
大圧がいい。春。いや、VC がいい。
やっぱ春だわ。下がった
VC がいい。向かい並みの大圧。
ね、下がったな。ウェアウェア
ウェア。
いいっすね、落ちたんだ。じゃあ結構今回でまくるんじゃないどっかチームか。わかるんぞ、これ。
やったれ、フューリア殺せ。
ちゃんと冒険はしない。バーネ。
G2 も来てないね。G2 も別に漁夫に来てない。
これはちょっと戦いますと。まあでも逃げちゃったな。
これ G2 って言ってるけど。フューリアです。それ G2 じゃないです。
これフューリアです、これ。D2。
フューリアきついかヒズワと今回きついか
てか、春、パッドなんか
そうだよ、ずっとパッドだよ、春。
ね、もうパッドになっちゃった。
ずっとパッドだよ。
やっぱパッドか。
完全に引いたね、フューリアは。
ね。
あ、G2 とオプティック当たるよ、これ。ちょっと見よ
オプティック見よう。これは当たるね。
あー、後ろからなんか来た。
オプティックなんか急に今
いい、ドゥープの大圧がいい。ドゥープの大圧がいい。
大圧が。
大圧がいい、ドゥープの。ドゥープの声好きだわ、マジで。
えらいな、ちゃんとオプティック一人ずっと後ろ警戒してるもん。
NRG がワンチャン来る。いや、さすがに来ないか。すさん。わ、回復が。
オプティック。まあ、そうだな、正面が。これ、マジで戦い切りたいね。早く。
裏切り切れたらね。あ、でも完全に入りきって、G2 も一人かけてって感じやね、今。
あ、やっぱりこのアンチか。これあれかな。これ、あれだわ。最後の週で、あそこだ。バルブレックスが勝ったアンチだ、多分。
NRG に打たれてるわけではないか。いや、NRG か。NRG の後ろにもいるから、あ、でも X セットもいるから NRG がワンチャンこれ漁夫に来るし、あ、でもオプティックめっちゃアンチいいぞ、これ。
オプティックここめっちゃ強いんだよな。
裏切れれば。でもそこのラインまで行っちゃうとこれ、四五六ポジだから彼、死にます。でもなんだこのくぼみあったか。なんだこのくぼみ。 なんだこれ。
On Harpy right now.
これあったかすぎますね、このグロミ。
やべえ。スキットルケイクスしてドゥープの歯茎見えてるもんこれ。歯茎透けて見えてるよ。うまい。
当てる。そうなんだ、上もな。
振り向き3センチとは思えない。
そんなハイセンチなんだ。
振り向き3センチぐらいで。
あったけえ、ここ。ここは。
いや、ここあったか。なんだこのぐらい。やばいな、これ。
やばいな、これ。
これでも詰められてはない。詰められてはない。NRG がかなり圧をかけてるか。
ついてきてるな、ついてきてるな、若干。
活気が入ったな。死んだ。ワイチ。
Fury is so fucking stupid, bro. They do the dumbest shit and it works. I don't.
ギルドのいいアークスター入ったな。
フューリアソファッケンって言ってくる、大丈夫これ。オプティックも死んだから。
これ TS も当たるぞ。
これダークゼルも死んでるから多分入れ替わるでしょ、順位。TSM 当たる？
TSM の真上にいる。Wait!
They wasted EMP. They wasted EMP.
I have 5 bats.
One more fight now.
They're gonna Valko. They're not gonna push us anymore because they're gonna.
いや、オプティックちょっともったいないな。動き回りすぎたよな、あれ。
ね。
You guys have your ult. I don't think so.
指示困ってたらよかったけど。
いいとこキープできたもんね、多分あれままだったら。
What were you gonna play here for next zone?
1個。
We play a bit backwards. We look at Rathon. I downed a guy in this building.
おー、いい。100T もここで落ちたら結構でかいぞ、これ。他のチーム。
Yeah.
上位チームのけにもしてるぞ。
I'm gonna go up there, bro. Like, just fucking trolling right now. We need to force these guys to Valko. One of you need to come up to me. Why are both of you down there? I can fly up. I'm set on low.
Enemy here.
We force these idiots to Valko.
入ってる上、こ
Where's
こ
the。drone? Can we see the drone?
No,
In
no,
there.
you're not near us.
It's right here. It's right here. It's right here.
To the drone.
We can break it.
We're just going to Valko.
Yeah.
You cannot cancel it.
There's nobody low ground, right, Jordan? There's a guy low ground.
Yeah,
Valko, you just went up.
ファイトです、TSM。
got one else came from low ground.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Shoot
they're
them,
They're
shoot
all
them
low
on
ground.
the
They're
road.
all low ground.
I'm popping it back. I'm popping it back.
Crack bang more. Crack bang more.
いや、きつー、これ。いい判断、これ。超いい判断。これもう右の漁夫絡んで一番強いとこ取れんじゃないの。でもその岩裏にもいるのか。
またあったこじきた、これ。あったこじきた、これ。
いた。オプティックマジ来た。
オプティックマジ。オプティック限界あったこじきた、これ。
クラック。大圧がいい。TSM の大圧がいいわ。いや、めっちゃいいウルト。
いいウルト、それはいいウルト。いや、刺さるこれ。グレ投げて。
いいねー。刺さんないのか。
当たんねえんだ、そのグレ。いや、まだめっちゃ全部取れたぞ、これ。めっちゃいいポジ取れたぞ、TSM。
殺しに行った。
100T も死んで。
おい。
しっかり取り切って、アーマーズアップして。
でっかっ。ライトアーマね、ライトアーマがない。
ライトアーマが。ライトアーマ、プリーズ。いや、でも TSM マジでいい場所取るぞ、これ。
うまい。
バカ強い。
ウィンじゃないか。でもなんか COL どこいるんだ、これ。
上か。
No, I do, but I can't.
He's got to be careful here. You can see the pings coming in. He knows that Luminosity are trying to swing up on their position.
いや、これでも LG と TSM が当たるな、これ。弾き切れるかな。
NRG
の若干入ってんのかい、NRG の家も。
若干入ってるし、キルポも取れそう。後ろの。
ね。
キルポも結構取ってるな。
CO、いや、これ TSM 逆にきついで挟まれてるな。COL か、俺も。いや、これ、まあ、そうだよな、きついよな。
春死んだ。
挟まれてるわ、後ろと前から。COL と LG に挟まれてる。
大圧がすげえ。
なんて言ってる
すげえでけえ声で。下がれって言ってた。 うまい。ジョーダ
でもレップスが今いる。レップスが今いる
ン。
ぞ。
ジョーダン。
ジョーダン。
ジョーダンしか勝たん。
レップスがクソいい場所にいる。
ジョーダン。
Took down one of LG.
やっぱジョーダンだやっぱり。
There's money in the water. Can you check the water, bro?
ジョーダンでか
すごい
い。
なった。
でかいその場所は。キル取れて。
I don't know if I can move.
レップス最初にバカ強くて草なんだけどこれ。
I don't think I can move.
もう最終アンチど真ん中やで。で左がフリーになったら結構殺されそ
ね、やばいでもレップスももう3000の弾が。お前、
There's
弾
money in the
が。
water for sure. He's gonna just find you with the
いや、このドローン。
う。あー、これ NRG ウィン
in the
か
water, bro. I swear to
いや、
God.
COL か。
COL じゃないさすがに。い
COL エリアバカ広いな。
や、来るなこれ
Stop。pushing on you. Why did you just? Why did you?
あー、レップスー。
Please listen to me.
死んだな。
They do indeed always
Ma,
help
ma, ma,
when you've
ma.
got an RE45 to strip away at those shields.
COL ウィンや。
To the best of its ability at the moment, we're down to 4, and you saw where every single
いや、
team
NRG
was.
してみよ
But complexity. They're on the quiet side of zone at the moment. Monsoon's doing a great job to hold for them as well, but XZ might be able to make a late play here. They might be able to stay alive just long enough to maybe get a second.
う。木が強い。木も強い。デジスレも持ってる。
最強か。でも NRG。
超近いぞ、なんか。
うん。
あ、でもまあ切れた。
いや、番外結構のでけえなこれ。木も溜まってる。
右、右。あ、いい。
いい。もう戦い方がバロラント。
あ、これ普通に勝てそうじゃね
ね
?COL めっちゃ縮こまったぞ。
降ろされなかったら勝てそう。グレもあるし。もう一個木もある。
やっちゃいギルド作戦来るか。
左は無視していいから。あ、激怒。
あ、作った。これはウィンですかね。
これはウィンですね多分。あと下が。
あ、でも下行ったからもう勝ちでしょ、これ。
うん。
おい。レッツファッキンゴ
あ、最近
ー。
ゴー。
Imagine we had one of those fucking like everyone else during Pro League. Good shit.
お、NRG だいぶ巻き返したんだったら、これは普通にいけるか、ワンチャン。
これ巻き返しましたねこれ。
High ground and unfortunately just not going to make it work, and NRG benefited from that timing. If XZ's coming up behind complexity, NRG just had to buy
松田さん、プライムサウスかありがとう。
I'm
4
getting
ヶ月ありがと
I
う。
gotta be honest, this is starting to get a little bit too much for me. Like I've got the heater on, it's gonna have to go off in a few
ライターも
moments time because
伝統ではある。
I talked about the two teams who needed
大会に行くと一回は見るからね。春のライターも見る。
Well, it's HCC in the previous game and it's NRG in this game who get wins. Rain Day storylines, I love it when they come to the fore.
でもこれ他のチームでかいな。ESA だっけもう落ちたし、ダークゼロも落ちたし、オプティックも落ちたからな。結構並んだんじゃないか他のチーム。ダークゼロからしたら結構嫌だろうな。
Mark, take a break. Tiff, let's talk about it because HEC, you say that they stay alive. It's still a good performance from them overall. Sweet had his ratting performance prior. This time, no rat needed. They challenge complexity. They challenge XSET. They come out on top of everything.
Doing exactly what needs to be done.
ペさん、
I know
あまりにも
Sweet
優
was
秀すぎて
asking
さ
for。beacons, asking for zones that would favor him, and I feel like Nikki was out there just manifestation candles galore. Like I know I
NRG が
would
一気
get
に来
them
た
for
ね。
you
多分
if I
10
could.
級ぐらい
That
取っ
was
てたか
Sweet's
ら、
ね、
decision,
飯取ってたと思う多分。
whatever coming
2
early
位とか
is
3位に
paying
つけたん
off.
じゃない？
うん。
I love it. Hey, Christmas come early.
あ、でもオプティックも結構キルプ持ったからどうだろう ?3 位とかじゃないかな。
I'm excited for Christmas. I can't wait, but I think you know the big prize
オ
for
プティ
these
ック6
players
キル
is
しか
gonna
して
be
なくない
showing
か。
up and getting to
6
land.
キルだけ
That
か。
has been the
キル
juggle
ね、
right
途中
now.
でこけたから、多分7ポイントぐらいしか取れてない
You
か
might
ら。
have seen
まあ
Dark
特に
Zero
か。
kick out NRG and HEC.
キャスターの方どっちも歯白すぎだろ。
We could have seen a disappointing moment.
超白い。
Now we
歯
look
並
at
びよ。
NRG and we say, well,
めっ
Dark
ちゃ綺麗
Zero
だ
has
ね
their
今。
chance. NRG looking like they're very much in the driver's
白っ。
めっちゃ白いよ。すごいな。
but commanding their
怖い
なんかアメリカの歯磨き粉ってめっちゃいいらしい。 なんか俺もアメリカ行った時買ったけど、そう、なんかもともともうなんか歯が白くなるみたいな、ホワイトニングの
あがついてる
やつがついてて、そうそうそう、ついててみたいな。結構きつい歯磨き粉、成分がめっちゃなんかしみるけど、
強いでしょだから。
そう、俺もそれ大人買いしてきたもん、めちゃくちゃアメリカで。
それホワイトニングしたから分かるわ。マジでホワイトニングってしみるんだよな。
何回やった
4、4、5回やったよ。
めっちゃやってるし。
もう最近言ってないけど。
俺3回ぐらいだったな。俺タバコ吸いすぎて歯黄色くなってたからさ。
俺もちょっと黄色かったな。
ホワイトニングで歯白くしたわ。2、3回しかやってないな。
だからそんなことしたら俺自分の歯磨き粉。
ガチ末期だった。
まあ普通だな。普通の色。
ホワイトニングって高いの ?1 万円ぐらいだよね。でも
あ、まあそうだね。でも1回一緒だから結構高いね。
まあ高いよね。
それなりにする。で、最初の方とかなんか型とか取ったりするから、もうちょっとかかるから。寝る前に毎回ね、やんなきゃいけないんだよね。そのホワイトニングってなんか型に液入れてそれはめて寝なきゃいけないんだけど。マジで最初の
俺やってないわ。そんなんやってない俺。
そう。あ、マジで最初の方しみるから結構寝るのきついよ。マジで。
なんか俺ライトみたいなの当てられてたけどね。
あ、そうそう、それがある。それもやるし、あと家ではそれをやるみたいな。
あ、そうなんだ。家でもやってたんだ。
そう、そこに薬入れて寝る前につけるみたいな。それがね、バカしみるんだわ。
1回で結構変わりますね。いや、1回じゃ変わんない。
1回じゃマジで変わんない。
2回目、3回目ぐらいでちょっと変化。
あれよ、脱毛と同じよ。そう、1回だともうほぼ変わらんで。2、3回やったら若干変わってくる。
でもなんか、マジで歯黄色だったら、もともとが、1回でも結構変わるかもね。もともともうヤニまみれみたいな歯が。
でもね、そう、ホワイトニングまで白くしすぎると、それはそれでね、不自然だからね、ちょうどいい色でとどめとくのがいいらしい。
ちょうどいいぐらいね。川瀬脱毛の案件やってたよね、それは。何全身やったの？
やったけど、あれ、医療だから。あ、医療じゃないよ、あれだよ、医療じゃないわ、美容だから。何回も通うなと大変ですよ。
痛い？
いや、痛くなかった。
あ、そうなんだ。
うん、マジで痛くなかったね。
何ケツの穴とかもやってんの？
いや、やってない。VIO はやってないよ。
あ、そうなんだ。
脱毛行きたいけどね、VIO とかも。でもマジで痛いって言うから怖いんだよな。
いや、なんか脱毛、俺もやろうかな。なんか、さ、掃除大変じゃないやっぱり。
まあね。
そう、脱毛、汚い話。掃除が大変なんよね、やっぱり。
あと、髭剃るのがめんどくさいよな。脱毛でもしようかなって俺思ってるけど、普通に。
しようかな。ハイジ系男子目指そうです。
目指そうです。つるつる目指そう。全然前進したい。俺腕の毛は結構ね薄いんだけどね、すね毛がねそこまで薄くないからな。すねやりたいんだよな。
いや、わかるわ。
そう腕とか全然ねあるんだよな、マジで。薄いんだけどね。
結構ね、本当に掃除大変。
そうなんだよな。
イライラすれば床に落ちてたら、縮り毛が。
could be over if ESA have another lights out performance. Better not let them get top 5 as of the rest of the lobby. We'll find out though in game 5 if ESA closes out, we'll have more teams join them on match point.
ひげ生えないから大丈夫や。脱毛するか。
うん。
脱毛案件欲しいな。
ツイッターで募集しよう。でもやるんだったら多分医療がいいよ。痛いけど。痛いけどね。
で、医療と何があるの？
医療と美容。
あ
まあ美容はだからその痛くないけどめちゃくちゃんと通わないといけないみたいな感じで、医療は痛いけどまあちゃんと効果が早く出やすいみたいな感じじゃない？多分。
一生生えてこなくなるのあれ。
うん、そうだよ。
そうなんだ。
確かね。
毛根殺すって感じなの？
うん、レーザーで焼き殺してなかったっけ？
へえ。
でも医療はガチで痛いって言うよ。なんかライターで炙ってる痛さって言われた。
マジで？
うん、めっちゃ痛いらしいよ。俺身内が何人かやってるから聞いたけどね、マジでやった後はその日はマジで動く気起きなくなるからなんもない人がいるって言ってた。急だとも毛生えてくるんだ。そうなんだ。
チリチリの毛が生えてくるんじゃない？
数年単位。
It definitely does, and I think as Tiff was alluding to, great news for ESA, who have already found a victory here today, and yeah, their win rate is pretty good.
チリリ系みたいなの生えてくるんじゃない？
頭の毛は知るのに他のとこ知らないの本当に理不尽。それはそう。無課金全員で脱毛してみた動画作るか。
いや、脱毛生きて
ー。無課あいつ毛薄いんだよな。
ヒゲは濃いけどな。
ね。
男性フォルムあんまない。
かもな。小さいスタンが連発されてるだけだって。ただ、いてててて。
やりてえな。
でも脱毛高いんだよな。年単位とかでしょ確か。めっちゃ高くなかったっけ？
あ、そうなんだ。
うん。40とか普通しない？
あ、でも整形よりは安いでしょ。
まあ整形よりは。
I mean, it sets it all up perfectly, right? They're the teams who are desperate to lock down playoff places, and they're all winning the games. It makes it so much more exciting for us to watch. But a reminder, ESA still the only team in the lobby who do have that match point opportunity.
男性ホルモン多すぎて毛生えてくるの死ぬほど早いからな俺。あれやったことある？なんかさ、塗るタイプの脱毛。
ない。
あ、ないんだ。
ないわ。
そう塗ってそう毛がさ全部抜けるんだけどさ、塗った部分から俺マジで半月で全部生えそろった
やば。
やばいよね。2ヶ月ぐらい大丈夫みたいなさ聞いてたんだけど、半月で生えてきたよ。
意味ないや。
意味ない。なんなら生えたての時チクチクすぎてクソ痛いしな。
100%. I never want to hear complaints again from Sweet. All right, 3 out of 3.
やってなかったな、それは。
It's because of the complaints. Who knows? Only Smarties have the answer. But for now, we're going to have to see what they do from here, and you can see how quickly they are.
鬼の男性ホルモン。
Center zone. They've got the Loba as well on Gilderson, so they'll be able to pick up some loot along the way. And one thing I love about the way that NRG play as well is sometimes
NRG さんまたしてもアンチいいですよ。
This isn't an example of it.
最悪痛みはそうしていくと意外と乗り越えられる。涙してるけど、やっぱ痛いや。
Along the way, but for now, it's going to be about just camping and getting some resources and setting up for the long game. And you can see they are going deep into thermal station here. They think this is right at the back. They're even going to hit a Valkyrie.
Yeah, they want to get right down into that area.
カバちゃんみたいにしよう。
火力ですね。あ、でも整形したことにないな。
カバちゃんにしてよ。
カバちゃんにしないと。1ぐらいだな。
唇死ぬほど分厚くすんの？
いや、薄くしたい。どっちかっていうと。
ああね。いや、俺もちょっとアヒル口みたいな。
俺、タラコだからな、結構。
カワセはタラコ。
俺、ちゃんとね、家族のね、一部を全部取って集めてみたいな顔してるからな、俺。めっちゃお母さんと出てって言われるわ。
待って、これ NRG さん、G2 に詰められない？
これ詰められてる？
あ、そこ取ってんのか大丈夫か。いや、マップ配信だと。
マップ配信だと奥だから詰められないとこれ。あれとか気になってるけどね。どっちかっていうと、死亡吸引。
どこの脂肪抜くの？
お腹とかじゃない？単純に。あと顔とか？
肩残んないやれ。
どうなんだろうね。まあでもそこはちゃんとやってくれるんじゃない？言えば。
ジム通ってんだからいいんじゃない？
まあそれはそう。最近痩せたタイプ。最近痩せたっていうかご飯食わなかったからな。あんまり。
確かお腹ね。お腹はわかるわ。ちょっと肉ついてんもん俺も。だいぶでも絞れてきたけどな。
いいやん。
なんかバランスボールでやるプランク知ってる？
知らない。何それ？そうなるんだ。
そう、めっちゃお腹に効く。やべえぐらい効く。プランクと普通にバランスボールでやる腹筋。
確かに効きそうそれ。
死ぬほど効くよ。足固定してもらって、そう。トレーナーの人に。浮いてる状態。
ああ。
もうまあそう。ほぼ浮いてる状態でもう持ってくる。頭を。くっそ痛い。
ミラーじゃなくて美容雑談会。そうです。俺も痩せてえな。腹筋バキバキにしてえわ。最近痩せとはいいけど多分良くない痩せ方してるからな俺。食べ物を食べないで痩せるみたいな。運動して痩せるっていうか。
俺らのスプリット2はナイトプールだからね。戦場。
誰が一番できるか。終わってるよ。
うわーめっちゃいいこのフィーファイトするやん。ね、CRG 終わった。
終わったなこれ CRG。
ダークゼロや。
ダークゼロだ。2位だ。41。
あ、エッジもバンガシアにしたんだ。
エッジもこの強制だねずっと。今日は。まあでも
しかもシャーキーとゼロがロール変わってない？
本当だ。あ、でも今日ずっとシャーキーがだったよ。バンガローだったよ。
脱毛の時って紙パンツとか履かされんの？
どうだったっけな。履かされたっけあの時覚えてないやあんまり。
メンエース並みに薄い紙パンツとか履かされるのかな。
脱毛そうな。
あ、紙パンツなんだ。脱いで四つん這いだぞ。マジかよ。
やばいな。
恥ずかしいな。
絶対恥ずかしいそんな。でも多分向こうも慣れてるからあれなんだろうな。もうそんな仕方ないからねもうそんなね。
VIO はフルチンなんだ。マジか。フルチンなんだ。
絶対 VAO でそんなことしてるとあれでしょ。もうねそういうことなっちゃうでしょ。
もし為替がやるやつリスナーだったらどうするそれ。VIO
すきまずいぞマジで。俺言われるでしょ。あ、ちょっと落ち着くまで待ちますねとか言われるでしょ。すいません。
恥ずかしいな。
恥ずかしすぎるわそんなこと言われたら。ちょっと待ちますね。ちょっと落ち着くまで待ちます。あ、はい。すいません。嫌すぎる。
まあでもさすがに男だったら男の人やってもらえるんじゃないの？
男の人か女の人かしか選べたよ。
選べるの？
選べる。
選べるの？
選べる。だって男の人、まあそうだな。そうだ。まあそういうのは仕方もあれだからね。そう。生理現象だからね。男の人に言われる方がでも気まずくないどっちかっていうと。
でも確かに男の人にやってもらっててさ、なんかそういう感じだったらちょっと嫌だ。
男の人
一番嫌だわ。
そう。あ、ちょっと待ちます。
向こうも嫌でしょ。
そう、向こうも嫌し、こっちも嫌でしょ。申し訳ないけども、だって多分。
嫌だわ。
本当にごめんなさいってなるでしょ、マジで。
before removing back to the position that they found themselves in previously. So they're still holding down that choke. Esports Arena, the team who are on match point,
これ嫌だな。
でもそうだよ。東京とかって結構女性しかいないところ多いよね。俺も一回やろうと思って調べたら大体全部女性しかいなかったよ。
あ
It can end up all right, and the circle sometimes does pull slightly north up towards where they are. So there is always that risk and reward scenario that you can go for, but again, it's a heavy commitment from most teams on the southern side of this circle, but we've seen this go wrong before. It's not out of the realms of possibility. Season will be the next team to join the circle right down over towards Tree, so that only leaves us with 4 teams right now.
おはよう。やっぱそうなんや。
There as well. We have a lot of teams and not a lot of space now for people to work with. So
もう俺たちそれだけ視聴者に募集しようぜ。視聴者でそういうところやってる人に聞こう。視聴者嫌だな俺。やっぱやめた。
いやいや、視聴者に見られるの嫌でしょ。
嫌だわ。
嫌でしょ。2チャンネルに書かれるぞお前。
いやもうそれはちゃんとそれは訴えた方がいいだろ。それはちゃんと個人を尊重したいと、それは本当に。そこはちゃんと。2チャンネルにかかるでしょ。いやー、末崎のチンコ小さかったわって書かれるでしょ。
めっちゃちっちゃいぞあいつみたいな。
嫌すぎる。
ツイ
ッターさらされないだろ。それさらしたらもうそれはもう刑事事件並みになっちゃう。
あ、一人死んだ。いや、飛ぶ位置が。いや、ダウンしたら気づいてないな、中のパーティーこれ。
ね。NRG めっちゃいいとかずっとチャラってんだけど、気持ちよさそうこれ。いっちゃダメでしょこれが。
ちゃん気持ちいいやろな。
Wouldn't be surprised if we start to see more kills on the kill feed and it's Season who start going down as the circle now closes. So BR Demons, Tripods, Optic, they have to start making their way in as Season get confirmation.
最後すごいファンでしたね。いっちゃやな。あれでしょ、スレタキが施設終わった後でちょっとサイン書いてくださいって言われるんでしょ。紙持ってこられて。紙持ってこられて。嫌すぎる。
In comparison to maybe some of the days earlier in the season, MPS going to pick up the leftover goodies and also going to have the ability to use the black market to make sure they don't have to expose themselves to do so.
Shield cell here.
15 squads remaining. Shubi going to be the kill leader in the lobby as well with 3 kills to his name.
でも俺まだお店とかで声かけられたことないな。
Creeping their way up towards them. So XM might look to play the tunnel underneath.い
や俺はもう美容院だったから。
焼肉でもあったんじゃなかったっけ？
焼肉でもあった。
書いたんでしょ？あ、話しかけられたのか？すごい。
普通に帰り際に、どっちも帰り際に、やっぱなんかちゃんと接客してくれんのよ。
あね。
その時はやっぱりちゃんとプロとして。で終わった後。
そうだ、俺もそうだった。服ボッカさんとかと買いに行った時にパルコにちゃんとエーペックストランがいてさ、その時なんかあれやってたんだよ大会。
はいはいはい。
マックで大会見ながら競技シーンの話しかけてきてたのに、あ、いつも見てますって言って、すいませんちょっと前はみんないて話しかけられなかったんですけど、ありがとうございますって言って、ブランドの店員さんだった、アパレルの店員さん。
It's not going to be a simple game for NRG. You saying they were having fun? Well, this is going to be less fun in this next 1 minute and 20 seconds.
話しかけられるのって嬉しい。まあ嬉しいけどね、普通に。
嬉しいけどね。
俺は嬉しい側。
まあなんかね、男友達とか、なんかマジで4人とかで歩いた時に話しかけるとあれかもしれないけど、全然1人とかだったらね、全然嬉しいよね。
そう。なんかやっぱ他に人いたらあれだけど、
そう友達
普通に1人の時とか、だったら全然声かけてもらったら、あ、うっすみたいな感じで。なると思う。マジメンヘスとかで声かけられたらもう終わるけどね。例えばだけど、そういうところで。
逆、そういうね、大人のお店でね。
そう、声かけられる。あ、カスいいんですかみたいな。
気まず。
気まずい。どうするんだろう。
Yeah, I have 2 arcs. I have an arc. The thermite would be big for that doorway. I think we're
黙ってそう、向こう気づいても。
And then we're running up the stairs and jumping to where the boxes are at. Okay? We're gonna land right here. Then we're
gonna run up the
stairs and
so
run to where the boxes are at. No one's looking at G2. Okay, everyone heard?
We might be able to do it like maybe now because G2 has to do the thing like.
I think we should look for one more Valko to be in the air.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Now.
Split off of me and emo on the way in.
これは
NRG バルジャ
On the staircase above the blue block.
屋上一回寄れるか。
うわめっちゃ削られた。いてあーやばい。あヒン
Low, I'm batting.
あーでもこ
Play aggressive.
これスイートか。
Play aggressive.
ダウンしなかったのは熱い。
Nice. Now we're gonna go to the box spot. Go to the box corner. Go to the box corner. Box corner. Good gen. I'm med kidding. I'm med kidding. I'm med kidding.
入れそうか。
入れそうだね。
I'm just nading it.
I'm med kidding behind the gen.
いや入るのでっかこれ。
We have the full back corner on me. Full back corner on me is good. Great fences, Nate.
Where do you want me to
Can you
put
guys
bubble?
both? Oh, look at this. Why charge rifle across for kills,
Charge
please?
rifle across.
100T と G2 がファイト。
もうさローバー多すぎてさアンチがあんま分かんねえんだこれ。ローバー。
Placing it.
Oh my god.
Just keep doing anything with the charge rifle.
Alright, I'm looting.
It pulls out again, but we can just chill. He's peeking wide. He's peeking wide in front of the staircase. Keep looking for kills out there. Keep doing whatever you're doing.
Oh my god. So fucking low.
いやこれまあでも次なんても外れてるんだよな。
あーこれ 100T 死んだか。
Nice.
Nice. Sweet.
Second job.
あ死んだね 100T。
Okay. We need to
これ上アンチかな崖の。
that building in any capacity. The team scouting this building. We want to get underneath that building in any capacity. The team is playing our side outside on the big door. They ran back inside.
We can. Is there a
We need
team
to
in
get
the choke?
underneath here, and then we're
We
gonna
can
play
wrap
underneath
the
on this
low
corner.
gun on the choke, like on the right, and like on the low gun below the
Let me
staircase.
stay out across. I have to heal.
I'm going here.
I have one bag. No, I'm fine.
Play the deep corner. Play the deep corner.
Team inside could make a play off us. As we jump back in, I mean, how brilliant was that call from Sweet? The IGL showing exactly how in
いやで
depth
も
you
これ
have to
処刑
think
台
about every decision you make here on World's Edge. The decision to
なん
land
か
on
キー
the
プするとこ
staircase,
難しそうこのアン
it
チ。
cannot be underestimated enough, Dan. That means that team cannot peek. It means when they land, that momentary stun does not affect them. Then they can reset, jump down with the guns up. It's just brilliant from Sweet.
Yeah, and he really did stress it as they were going through as well, saying we have to land in this precise position. If they landed even remotely off that,
ESM いいな。
all gone out of the window.
どこに
And
いる
even when he
TSM
was cracked, even when he was low, he then made
あー
the
いい
team
場所いる
play
な。
aggressive, perfectly calculated.
後ろ切れたらでかいねこれ X セットと。
That zone shifted again away
多分
from
下側だと思う
towards
し、
the
線路
kind
の
of。fenced area where currently the guard
あでも
are
エナジー一
sitting.
人かけられちゃった
ESA, by the way, still alive, and they just managed to get a knock and
ね
a
なんで
kill
死んだ
onto Nathan. So ESA
多分
doing
ESM
their
で
job
普通に
to
死んだ。
try and win this.
あー
They're
そういう
the
ことか。
only team on match point right now.
ヒーンだね。
I think there's five
まだ
teams in
まだ
and
残
around
って
this
る。
building.
いい場所いる。あーヒン。
Everybody is stacking up on top of each other. Except they're
あ
going
みんな黙ってるわ
to
ちゃんと。
still alive on that
一人になった後。
Fury is still alive as well. ESA
集中するために。
Tripod all fighting at the moment under the big structure inside a thermal station, but it's Optic who have the high ground on this building now,
飛ぶ。
and they might be in a position to
Oh my
clean
God.
up a little third party inside because the fights are starting to break out.
Yeah, this could be plenty of
で
kills
15秒や1回。
available for Optic, but they're also reluctant. But they
そう
need to
オプティックがファイト
As
します。
Tusker Toolcake turns around, there is going to be a little bit of damage, but there is knocked to back
Dark
his
Zero.
boy. As now Dark Zero also looking to try and pick up some KP here.
Dark Zero picking up some KP, MPS eliminated, FaZe alongside them.
100中か。
As we almost get down to single
だから
digits
ね
on teams that are
ティッ
left.
クが上と。
The squad still left in the lobby. The Loba, excuse
スーさん
me,
死んだ。
Exhibit goes down from Duplex as well, which is going to give them all the information. NRG have been eliminated though, so now we find ourselves down to 10.
一方、春。
Everyone
あ、
gets
春も裏切って
maximum
ちゃん
points,
と。
but still a lot to do. Reminder, Esports Arena still alive.
落ち着きの大きな
Northwest
る
side
な。
of this zone, but they
NRG が
are being
死んでしま
kind
った
of
ぞ。
looked at and shot at by tripods at the
春
moment.
みたいな TSL
This zone is
TSL。
basically pulling
彼も
over
落ち着いてるね
lava
一旦。
right now, by the way. This is going to be a
ただ
really
オプティッ
tough
クと
ending
ダーク
for
ゼロ
all
が
these squads to try and navigate. You could argue tripods in a very comfortable situation.
バルータはありそうだな、でもどっちも。
そうだね。
Get sandwiched. Here's where ESA are. They have the high ground for now.
あと ESA めっちゃいい場所じゃない？
It's literally ending with so much lava and coverage.
あでもさすがに1位は取れないかここの場所で。でも ESA めっちゃいい場所いるぞこれ。
ESA are alive. They're in a great position, and they have a Kraber, and most importantly, they're on match point.
いやワンチャンあるぞ、全然。
ねワンチャンありそうなアンチいる。初見でぶんどったんだけど。これ
あるんじゃない？
これワンチャンマジあるぞこれ。
終わっちまうのか。
終わっちまうのこれ。
ESA might be in a position to close it out right here, right
クレーバー持ってます。
クレーバーじゃないかな、この人。ちょっと嘘でしょ。
あ、でもこのハイドが。あ、外しちゃった。キーバーだな、この人。
クレーバーじゃないかおもろいな。
I mean, if that Kraber shot connects a little collateral, then that would have been massive. Tripods are trying just to survive at the moment. SSG and Dark Zero.
いやでもわかんないぞこれ。
Dark Zero will be eliminated, as will Space Station. Rambo, kill leader. Surprise, surprise for the guard. As the team is playing underneath here.
不幸にできる。チャージライフくればやばいな、この人。構成。
TSM きついか。
あークレーバーが当たんない。
あー ESA が。
ただ、ファイナル
取り切った。
なんか取り切った。
これマジあるぞ。
これマジあるぞこれ。
これあるぞ。
終わっちまうのこれ。
ガチであるぞこれ。ガチである。
でここで武器も補充できる。チャーライくればえぐくない？
ガチである。終わっちまう？
いやでもオプティックいいとってるな。あと TSM も
死んだ。
TSM もってるわ。まあでもさすがに TSM
TSM がここに介入してって感じになるから、いやこれは TSM 勝ってほしいぞ、さすがに。
でも ESA あれいるんだよな、ホライゾンいるんだよな。
やばい、左から上がられたらやばい。抑えろ。あーやばい、これ気づいてない。
ハルが気づいた。
ハルー
めちゃくちゃやる。
あ、いやこれでもやばい。終わっちまう
これマジで。いやまあでも全然まだ1対1。
やばいぞこれ結構。終わる。
これマジで終わるね。
ガチで終わるこれ。ちなみにガチで終わる。
終わるぞ。
終わったこれ。終わった。
終わったなこれ。
終わった。
終わった
終わった。早すぎだって。おーい、6試合で終わっちゃったよ。オーマイガー。終わっちゃった。
ぬるっと終わったな。
ぬるぬるっと終わったね。
I thought it was just a bit of a throwaway statistic earlier when I was like, you know what, World's Edge, they've got 100% win rate. Then they go and win. Okay, the win rate comes a little bit down when they don't get a victory in the second, but back onto World's Edge, back to the conference, back to ESA's home ground, and they had absolutely everything in that final circle. They had a good zone.
終わっちまったよ。
終わっちまったよ。GG。日本これの3倍、2倍やってたのにこれの。日本。GG やな。
じゃあオプティックきついか？
オプティックワンチャンきついかもね。ダークゼロもワンチャンきついぞこれ。
ガチ早いな。6試合か。まあ大体8か9とかが平均だけど。7、8、9。
Dan's magical stats, ESA's magical performance, and a match point that has ended faster than I've ever seen. I've ever been a part of 5 games. I don't know what this is. It's seeming like the script has gone the correct way. We asked, is this ESA's day earlier? It is, yes. This is their day. This is a performance to remember. The most dominating performance we have seen, I think, across the entire split. No one else had a chance. Markets become obvious now, but yeah, no one else is winning this today except ESA.
But the crazy thing is, right, congratulations to ESA, of course, an amazing victory inside of 5 games on match.
いやーこれ結果が楽しみですね。ちょっとネタバレ禁止で、本配信で結果見ましょう。
俺全然今普通にあそこで見ちゃってるんだけど。
もう出てんの？
出てるよ。
じゃあ見るか。
おー、ギリ。
はい。オプティックが
オプティック落ちました。
ゾーン。
オプティック落ちました。ダークゼロが10位で通過です。
あ、ダークゼロいった？
ダークゼロいった、10位でいった。
ナイスやね。
フューリアが落ちた。フューリア、オプティック落ちたな。
COL も落ちた？
うん。COL は、COL も落ちたね。
あ、リキペディアじゃないか、見るの。
リキペじゃない。
あれか。
そう、普通に、バトルビー。TSMXZ ガード、e スポーツアリーナ、これ LG? これルミナシティ
ルミナシティ。
NRG100T HEC スペースステーションダークゼロ10チームですね。マジか。フューリア落ちた。オプティックも落ちたのやばいな。
あ、100T 上がったね。
ね。
オプティック落ちるんだ、ここで。
オプティック落ちちまったよ。ヒズワットソンも落ちたよ。前回の MVP も。やべえ。てか、マジで、こんなさらっと終わる？こんな、
なんかぬるっと終わったな。
ぬるっと終わったね、マジで。フューリア。だってもう、俺だってもう2時間半しかやってないって。
やばいな
ぬるっと終わりました。
もう配信つけて1時間だけど。
5試合だよ、これまだ。
いやーでも俺はダークゼロが上がってくれて嬉しいよ。
ね。
3位なのに落ちたの？今日。オプティック。
落ちたね。
3位で落ちんの？
ポイントが足りなかったんだろうな。オプティックはマジ1位取らないと無理なポイントだったからね。春もびっくりしてた。まあびっくりしてたのな。まあでも、春1位だから、ポイント的には全然、特に何も気にしてなさそう。早いな、みたいな。やっぱエーペックス
マッチポイントチーム1チームしかいねえじゃねえかよ。
そうだよ、もう1チームだけしか出てないよ、マジで。
マッチポイントチーム1チームしか行ってないのに、終わっちまったよ。
ぬるっと終わったな、マジで。
いや、フィリアさん悔しいね、これは。
これ悔しいですね。いや、もう終わっちまったよ、みんな。みんな終わっちまったよ。みんな。大会開くか、今から俺たちが。
ESA がうまかったわ。普通に単純にあそこでホラキューで左から上がるの。
ね、あれがうまかったね。てか、ホライゾンが刺さった。しっかり。
EMEA も終わってるよね、今日。確か。
EMEA、これからじゃないよね。
これからなの？
いや、違う、これからじゃわかんない。わかんない。俺、見てない、全然。4時とかじゃなかった？終わってると思うけどな。
EMEA の結果を見るか。
全部終わってるわ。ナビ、please。やっぱ、俺たちのとこが異常だったんだな、マジで。
EMEA はファイアビーバーズ勝ったんだ。リージョンファイナル。オーロラ1位なんだけど。EMEA。
ほんとだ。
オーロラアセンド。ボーダーが低いな。EMEA なんか。
70でいるんだ。
実力差がすごい開いてんだろうね。このリージョンは。ボーダー引く。
エグゾドリームファイヤー。モイスト e スポーツ。
あーデッキもダメやったか。ダメやったかっていうか、そもそも出れてないわ。
ハーデッキは落ちてるね。あれで、もう予選で。
いやー、世界大会楽しみになってきましたね。これは。
スカートもしてる。
日本勢全力応援配信やな。
そうだね。うん。
終わっちゃった。
あ、終わっちゃったわ。
おつもいし。
こんなパパってることあるんだ。
ぬるっと終わった、マジで。
どうしよう。俺これでマジ昼ぐらいまでやるつもりだったのになんか終わっちゃったんだけど、マジで。こんなぬるっと終わると思わなかった。嘘でしょ？マジで、
ね、
マジでぬるっと終わっちゃったな。どうしようかな。
寝るか。5試合で終わんない。早いよな、マジで。
まあ、マジで寝るのはあり。本当に消化不良だ。家帰って一回寝るのマジでありだな、これ。やばくない？なんかもうちょっと見たかったな、俺も。なんか消化不良やな。
出かけようかな。
今から？
うん。買い物行こうかな。
いいじゃん。スクリーム。いや、今日はスクリームいいから。
川さんは今日の予定は？
マジ何も決まってないわ。
メンスか？
この時間からメンスけど元気すぎだな。まあ、ボンなら言ってるために今普通に。さっき送ってきたの母さん。母さんメンス行くんでお金貸してくれませんか？
いつもメンス行ってんな、あいつ。
ポケモンを買う500円しか飯払わないけど、ポケモンを買うお金とメンスに行くお金あるからな。
俺そこは別で考えてるよ。やっぱり。まあ、メンスは大事だから。確
かに。メンスは大事だからおもろいな。
まあ、生活費と学費とメンス費で分かれてるから、そこ切り盛りしてんじゃないのかな。
ちゃんとね。
うまく。うん。終わっちゃったよ。
終わっちゃったね、マジで。こんなマジでぬるっと終わるんか。
俺らも終わるか。
終わるか。出かけんの？
出かけようかな。暇やし。
じゃあ、はい。じゃあ、おずー。
はい、おずー。
どうしようかな。まあ、前の続きでもいいな。なんかちょっと配信しないと落ち着かなくなっちゃった、俺。 どうしようかな。次枠で配信1回続けるか。そしたら、続きするか。一回こっちは落としてきます。はい、お疲れ様でした。ちょっとまた次の配信で皆様お会いしましょう。一回切ってきます。お疲れ様です。